It is almost time. UFC 264, Poirier, McGregor 3. This is the weigh-in show. We are getting you ready for what could be, what will be, what should be one of the biggest pay-per-views in UFC history. Back at T-Mobile Arena, back in front of a sold-out crowd for the first time in seemingly forever here in Las Vegas. A live look at the weigh-in stage. There are 13 fights, 26 fighters set to weigh in just a few minutes. We will be there for every single one. Dana White saying this could be the biggest ever. And you're already smiling, Daniel Cormier.
Because
you ready to go?
Watch
I'm
that
trying
smile
to get
right off
I'm
your
trying to get
face.
my title back.
Wipe that smile
I feel
right
naked.
off your
The first
face.
thing that comes out of his mouth is getting the title back.
Welcome inside the studio, everybody.
I
Lomachenko.
feel, hey, listen.
Hey, can I get through?
Wait,
the
stop. I feel naked. Because
You
that's
should.
the interim champion over there. Ain't nothing but an interim title. That ain't nothing but an interim
There's
title.
nothing
Listen,
interim about
if
this.
you win the title when the champ is not present, how can you? I mean, I listen.
I showed up.
Hey, listen.
That's how I won the
wasn't
title.
there.
I showed
wasn't there.
up.
I didn't get disqualified or anything. See, I got to put that disclaimer
Listen.
for when I won the belt. I didn't get disqualified.
Watch
I just had my kid had a tournament, and you run around here like this is your
DC,
belt.
watch me work.
Oh,
Okay? Watch
okay.
how this happened. Okay.
Oh,
Look
my
at
goodness.
That. Look
Well,
at
I
that.
mean, come
The
on. I mean,
technique.
you live in Kansas
The
City.
technique.
You own a ranch. Why in the world would you not win? That was part of the reason I didn't
Plus,
go.
I think they actually slowed it down for you a little
They
bit.
did.
It looks
Dean.
slower,
They
Dean.
did slow it
Dean.
down. Because when they
Dean.
get us there,
Oh, my God, no hands.
No,
Yeah.
No hands.
hands.
The interim title
There is
was
nothing interim about this.
taken by Larasenko down in, was it in Phoenix?
Houston.
I have no.
Phoenix? Yeah,
Where'd you guys ride? Glendale?
Yes.
I mean, I don't even know where you were at this point because it just didn't matter. It was a fight in front of no fans. It was a fight in front of no fans.
It's funny how you just kind of poo-poo everything that doesn't include you. That's
Wait.
your MO, whether it's the golf course, whether it's here on set. Dean Thomas was there. It's not the interim title. It's the actual
Dan.
title. Show some respect for the champion. You'll have your shot to win it back today. She did it like the cowgirl she is. Dean Thomas, you've been completely overshadowed by the former champ here. He pays no attention to anything the rest of us have to say.
well, you know what? That's okay. You know why? Because remember I told you I was going to bring you something? And I didn't.
What is it, D?
Look,
What'd you bring? You
I
bring
brought a gift. I come bearing gifts, everyone. I come bearing gifts.
I mean, what
I know
a
what
gentleman.
this is.
Hey, time out.
This is a gift for me?
Yeah, it's a gift for you.
Wait, for
Dean
Helen?
Thomas.
Yeah, Matt, but don't worry, I got you next time.
This is, so he makes candles. I saw this on an Instagram page
Yep.
when he posted this a while ago, and I said, I love candles. I like candles.
I
My
do
my
too,
wife's
actually.
a big candle. Look at that.
Did
mean-
you just make this?
I made it yesterday, 2 days
You
ago.
travel with wax?
Wait, stop.
You
Wait,
whoa.
stop.
You travel
stop.
with wax?
No,
Yes.
stop. I like candles.
I
Where's my
I got a special one coming for you, don't worry.
Really? Put champ on it.
Yeah.
Please double champ. I mean, put double champ on it.
DC the double champ?
Please.
I got you.
Hey, gotta be honest though.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody seen Dean Thomas? Oh, you
Ah,
got a
yeah,
part?
the little
I mean,
part.
oh my
I got-
goodness.
yeah, I'm
You
trying to
look
look
20
young,
years
baby. I'm
younger
trying to
right
look-
now,
you know what I'm
dog.
saying? I'm trying
You
to
look
look
20 years
young,
younger with that part. I mean,
yeah,
look at
yeah.
Dean Thomas. Anybody seen Dean Thomas this morning? I walk in, this dude got a part. You look brand new.
That's right, boy.
tight.
It's hard.
That's right.
It's hard
That's
to
right.
get
This is my
perfection better.
70s look.
I mean, come on, Dean. Let's go,
Come on,
baby.
man. Y'all
Dude
already
look
know.
good this morning, don't
Yeah.
you?
I feel like this is Cheech and Chong up
a
here right
freshman.
now. All right, let's take a look at the reason we are here. The late prelims, he's going to be on ESPN, and there are plenty of good fights. Check out some of these names. Trevin Giles, the Houston police officer, taking Andricus Duplessis. The Wizard, Ryan Hall, against Ilya Topuria. Nico Price, man, I cannot wait for this gun against Michael Pereira and Carlos Condit, the wily 37-year-old veteran, against Max Payne Griffin. The main card on pay-per-view, The Sugar Show. Sean O'Malley fighting a first-timer in Cruz Mutino. Irene Aldana. How about this fight? A couple of top 5 bantamweights here, and then the powerful heavyweights. Tai Tuivasa, perhaps the toughest test of Greg Hardy's career. Could this set up a future title shot for either Gilbert Burns or Wonder Boy? And then, of course, the main event. This is the one everybody can't wait to see. Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor. The trilogy is here. All right, let's bring in the voice of the UFC, Jon Anik, also the man that's going to be manning the MC responsibilities for today's weigh-in. Jon Anik back at T-Mobile for the first time. And it does seem like forever, John, since we've been back here in front of a full crowd. and the energy palatable around town. I know you've been here for a few days now.
Great to be here. Great to be with you guys. What a riveting start to the morning weigh-in show today. And sorry to DC that we couldn't get his guy Ryan Clark in here to do this hit today, but the buzz is palpable. T-Mobile Arena, to your point, will be loaded for the first time since March of 2020. And I think it stands to reason that this could benefit not just Conor McGregor, but also Dustin Poirier. It's just a much more normalized fight atmosphere that we're going to be walking into tomorrow night.
And, of course, the trilogy fight for McGregor and Poirier. Based on yesterday's press conference, John, it looks like Conor kind of going back to his old ways.
Yeah, I mean, I don't read too much into that. I think the Fight Island atmosphere is very unique. It's a very intoxicating place. And I kind of think Conor McGregor, for the first time in his career, was sort of just happy to be there and to be a UFC fighter and to be back in the mix. A decidedly different Conor McGregor, obviously, this week. And I don't know if it's so much a return to normalcy per se, but I do think he's in a much better headspace in terms of his all-around focus than he was back in January. We'll see if that's enough to produce the desired result against a guy in Dustin Poirier who hasn't stopped training for the better part of 10 years. I think if I'm looking for advantages for Poirier, it's just all the MMA repetitions that he's had over the last decade that Conor McGregor maybe has not had in training.
And, of course, the co-main, a couple of great fighters. This could set up a title opportunity for either Gilbert Burns or Wonder Boy down the road. But it's Wonder Boy that everybody seems to be talking about that could be the biggest threat to the champ in this division.
Yeah, I still think it's Colby Covington. I think if you polled Kamaru Usman, he would probably suggest that Colby Covington is the most dangerous fight for him in the division. But Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, as credentialed a striker as has ever graced the octagon, and I don't have to tell you guys that he hasn't fought Kamaru Usman, unlike Leon Edwards and Colby Covington. So Wonderboy talked to us this week a little bit about style points, the value of a finish leading into an interview with Joe Rogan to sort of set the table for a title shot. I do believe if Wonderboy can finish Gilbert Burns, there's a chance he cuts the line. But Dana seems pretty bullish on a rematch between Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington, so I guess we got to see how it all plays out.
All right, John Anik, the man calling the fights tomorrow. He will be the MC for the weigh-in set to start here in just a couple of minutes. John, thank you very much. He's basically taking up residency here in Las Vegas. Going to be here for a couple of weeks. Trilogy fight. This is the one that we've been waiting for, and unlike the last few fights for Conor, where we have to wait for him until the next year to fight, just a couple of months after they meet in January, they're meeting again, DC. And this is you've been through these trilogy fights before. You know how it goes. How different is this one as opposed to 1 and 2 for these guys?
You know, I think it's much different, right? From not only the fight aspect, but just everything around these guys, right? Conor McGregor in 2014 was a young guy that had big dreams. Now all those big dreams have been accomplished. Dustin Poirier was a guy that had been around for a while, but never truly hit his stride. Dean and I were talking about this off camera. The way they looked going into the octagon this year opposed to back in 14, they don't look like young kids and boys anymore. They're grown men. Dustin is a big, bad boy, and Conor McGregor is a bad boy himself. So those guys are different. It's a third fight. No more secrets. They both have been there. They've taken each other's best shot. Who's going to be able to get the job done this weekend? This is massive.
Yeah, but I think that when you look at the way they fought the first time compared to the second time is much more indicative of what's going to happen this time. Like the stakes are closer. Same weight class. I mean, and just everything is a little bit different from the first time that they fought. And here's the thing that we often don't talk about. You know, Conor says he looked past Dustin the first time. Dustin looked past Conor the first time.
Yeah.
So like that's a big key in why Dustin got knocked out the first time.
We are just seconds away from the weigh-in beginning here. As we mentioned earlier, 13 fights on the UFC 264 card, and we are just hearing now that Dustin Poirier will be the first man to step to the scale. So we're not going to have to wait long to find out if at least one half of the main event is going to make weight here.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he looks like. You know, Conor was kind of poking the bear a little bit at the press conference yesterday, saying that he looked sucked out, and you could see it in his eyes. But, you know, Dustin,
big.
He is very big for the weight class, but he's never had trouble making weight, and I'm excited to see what he looks like on the scale.
You know, when you talk about Conor at the press conference yesterday, was it too reminiscent of the Khabib press conference, though? Where it seemed like he was just so antsy and so mad and so angry. It was just such a big turn from what we saw in Fight Island. I mean, I didn't like it. I don't want to see Conor holding Dustin's hot sauce and Dustin holding the liquor.
Yeah.
I want these guys mad at each other, but I feel like Conor went all the way left. He's back to the guy that was yelling, screaming, trying to kick and get at Habib in the times when it wasn't set for that.
Well, he tried to kick Dustin.
That's what I'm saying.
He tried to kick him. So, yeah, you're right. So, like, yeah, he's definitely flipped the switch, and we're going to see some animosity. We've seen some animosity come out of him already.
All right, the weigh-ins are beginning right now. Here's a live look at the scale. As we mentioned, Dustin the Diamond Poirier going to be the first man stepping up here in just a matter of moments.
This fight card was built.
Let's
former
listen
UFC
to,
interim lightweight champion Dustin the Diamond Poirier.
I'm Dustin Poirier, fighting out of Lafayette, Louisiana. Daniel, you know I got to put on for Acadiana.
All right, here's the Diamond stepping up to the scale. I know he is, listen, it was a big question about this fight, right? Do you take the money fight, do you fight for the title? There really was no question, DC. This is the fight that he had to do.
$156, the official weight for Dustin Poirier.
156 for Dustin Poirier. Look, man, this guy is from our hometown. People love Dustin Poirier. He lives it. He represents it. He's Louisiana through and through. We're also proud of him, man, and where he's come. On weight, right away, biggest moment of his career. And as you said, Helly, there was no choice. You take the money. He said he would make 1/4 of what he's making tomorrow night if he fought for the championship.
His first fight with Conor, he made $34,000. He's going to make 60 to 70 times that.
Yeah, absolutely.
This time. I mean, that was back in 2014, right? But like, different deal. Here's the South African Dricus du Plessis. Dean, what can you tell us about this young man?
Well, he's a former champion in their organization over there in South Africa. He was actually a champion in Poland as well. Came over here, made his UFC debut, and just absolutely starched Marcus Perez.
The official weight, 185.5 for Dricus du Plessis.
He's got a really big upper body, too. Like, his upper body, like, the size of for a middleweight. He's got a really big upper body.
He's a big guy.
Yeah.
A lot of confidence. We talked to him earlier in the week, and he seems so ready for this moment. Very in tune.
He's been in some big fights before. Those KSW arenas get packed. I mean, they've got 20,000 people at those fights. So I don't expect the bright lights of a Conor McGregor card to affect him too much.
It's crazy, right? Like, you don't generally get guys that are fighting in the spot that he's fighting that have that type of experience. They get overwhelmed by these big cards.
He turned pro at 18 years old and he's riding a three-fight win streak. Here's Omari Akhmedov, the Russian, ranked 13th in the middleweight division right now.
Yeah, I love this guy. Like, I used to see him in the gym at American Top Team all the time. Speaks very good English. He's always smiling, but he's been quietly fighting in the UFC since 2013. He's got wins over Tom Breeze, Ian Heinisch. He has a draw with Marvin Vettori. I mean, this guy is very well-rounded, very fun to watch fight, and he's got a gas tank out of this world.
185.5, the official weight for Omari Akhmedov.
He's in an interesting matchup because he has to go force takedowns. He has to go get this fight in close, try to turn it into a grappling match, because otherwise he'll be at a severe disadvantage having to stand.
Oh, yeah. I don't think he wants to stand with Brad.
No, he does not want to stand with Tavares.
He was 6-1-1 in his last 8, including that 3-round draw against Marvin Vettori. Here's Nico Price.
Hi, I'm Nico Price from Cape Coral, Florida, and tomorrow I'm ready to throw these hands. What's up, Dean?
Man, he's a Florida legend. I watched him come up through the regional scene. I've called some of his fights in the regional scene. He used to pack the house out.
The official weight,
he would come in the top team and just
for Nico
quietly
Price.
beat up all the stars in American Top Team. I mean, this is a guy, he came up the hard way, but now he's here. Very fun to watch fight, and he always kind of upsets the guy who's supposed to beat him.
All right, next up in the UFC's flyweight division, Zhalgas Zhumagulov.
All right, so in case you have not heard yet, RDA is going to be weighing in as the backup in case something happens. We've already seen Dustin Poirier, but
125.5 for Zhalgas Zhumagulov.
So he is here as the backup in case something happens to the main event. So you'll be seeing him in about 5 minutes. That was Zhalgas Zhumagulov, Laura.
Yeah, Zhalga Zhumagulov, I mean, he had quite a run before entering the UFC. Hasn't quite found his footing in the flyweight division, but he's got a win over Ali Bagutinov, who at one point was challenging Demetrius Johnson for the UFC title. So, you know, got a lot of good work going in. And of course, Yana Kunitskaya, man, I've had the honor to watch Yana for a very, very long time now, and she's a tricky one. She's been doing Taekwondo since she was a child. Actually started doing hand-to-hand combat in Russia when she was 12, so she has a lot of years in the fight game. And I think since moving to ATT, she's really rounded out her game.
The official weight, 134.5 for Yana Kunitskaya.
134.5 for Yana. She's really rounded out her game and turned herself into someone who can grind a fight, right? She can shut down the game of her opponents by just being physical out there.
Yeah, I watched her fight. She seems like a very difficult puzzle to solve.
Tomorrow night in the UFC's bantamweight division, Chris Mutino.
And here's Chris Mutino making his UFC debut. Has the green hair going on.
Yeah, what a whirlwind. I mean, you got to love that hair. I can't wait to watch that hair compete with Sean O'Malley's hair. It's sort of like if G.I. Joe hooked up with Rainbow Bright at one point. We've got their kids fighting. No, but what a week for Chris Mutino. 10 days notice.
135, the official weight for Chris Mutino.
But that was the question, right? When you take a fight on 10 days notice, the biggest fight you have is with the scale. He just made weight. He doesn't look overly sucked out. He looks very focused. I'm excited to see how he does.
9-4 as a pro. Said he was making his UFC debut. So looking forward to see him against the Sugar Show. And here's Jessica I, DC.
Well, you see Jessica I step into the scale, and I saw her in the elevator yesterday, and she was so lean. She's put so much into this training camp. It was 7 p.m.
125.5, the official weight for Jessica I.
I was like, no weight cut for you, Jess. She goes, no, I've really done everything right this time. Said she was on weight yesterday by 4 p.m. in the afternoon. We know Jessica I has struggled on the scale at times.
For sure.
But she seems to have gotten everything in order in advance of this fight.
Yeah, and a win would just be huge for I, the former title contender, just 1 and 2 in her last 3. And this is Max Payne Griffin, Dean.
Yeah, Max, he cut his teeth facing all the top competition in the UFC. His first fight was against Colby Covington. But, I mean, he's got wins over Song Kenan. He went to Orlando, Florida, hometown of Mike Perry, and beat him. I mean, this guy has put in his work. He's done his time, and he's used to spoiling the party. And he's facing a legend in Carlos Condit, and he said, I'm the legend killer. So he expects to go ahead and put it on Carlos Condit.
Is he Randy Orton? You watch WWE?
Yeah, I don't watch
Randy Orton's the legend killer.
Is he the legend killer?
He beats them all, dog. He's kind of a legend himself at this point. But Randy Orton with the RKO, legend killer, putting it on these dudes.
I gotta start
170.5, the official weight for Max Griffin.
Yeah. It's very good.
Yeah,
my son enjoys it.
But what about you?
I enjoy it. Maybe more than he does. I try to put it on my kids like that's why I'm watching. No, I've been watching it since I was a kid.
Everybody made weight so far, including the 35-year-old Sacramento native, Max Payne Griffin, coming off 5 wins, back-to-back wins, rather, for the first time.
Dean, I got to be honest, Dean. I feel like I have a friend in you. Yeah. Because that other side is raining off hate. It's radiating hate off. I'm telling you, these two over here. Dean,
that's so divisive.
I'm starting to feel it, too, a little.
Yes! They call this Cheetah Jones.
Yeah.
Listen. Let's talk about Hu Yaozong, okay? Let's concentrate on what's happening. And I got to tell you, this guy is on the Jared Cannonier diet. He started out his career as a heavyweight. Then he moved to light heavyweight, and he is now fighting at middleweight, which I feel like has got to be his own. I mean, he looks extremely
185.5, the official weight for
big guy.
Yaozong.
Hasn't found his footing in the UFC yet, but we haven't seen him in 2.5 years. So I'm dying to see what he brings to this fight.
Yeah, his first fight since 2018, and to your point, his first UFC fight short notice in heavyweight in 2017 against Cyril Asker. And here is the Sugar Show, Sean O'Malley.
You know, honestly, man, I got to be honest. You know, I've got, when they were picking who to let you talk about, I got some pretty good ones, right? Sean O'Malley, hair looks fantastic, fantastic fighter. The dude has great stand-up. And you hear over and over about Sean O'Malley and his ground ability.
The official weight, 135.5 for Sugar Sean O'Malley.
His ground ability and how much he's improved, but he hasn't enough to show it. He's done so well in the stand-up that he just knocks people out. And this dude understands that he's right on the cusp. If he can continue to do what he's been doing, he's right on the verge of just truly breaking out, right?
Yeah,
because
he's
about as hot as you can be as a prospect.
He looks great
Time
in
for him to
quintet,
go into
though.
contender.
His
Yes.
grappling looks great in quintet.
It did.
Peak there.
And this is Ryan the Wizard Hall,
Grappling.
Northern Virginia native.
And he is an absolute jiu-jitsu revolutionary. Yeah. Well,
You want to talk about grappling?
Yeah. Well, most
145, the official weight for
whatever.
Ryan Hall.
Yeah, while most guys have abandoned their jiu-jitsu for wrestling, he said, you know what, I'm going to change my jiu-jitsu to make it work for MMA. I just need experience. So this is his opportunity to show it.
Kenny Florian was so high on this dude before he ever got into the UFC. And I was like, come on, Flo. He can't be that good. Dude leg locks everybody.
Yeah.
It's crazy watching him.
No
grapple.
one wants to fight.
Undefeated in 4 UFC fights, but he hasn't fought in 2 years. Here's Trevin Giles, the Houston police officer and former college football player.
Trevin Giles is a guy that is so gifted athletically. He's just trying to just put it all together, right? He's been in some big
185
spots.
and a half
We saw
for
when him and
Trevin
when him and
Giles.
James Cross fought. They had a fantastic, fun fight. And you saw that Trevin can, at times, lose himself in the octagon. If this dude can just stay focused, right? He can just stay focused and just put it together. He really does have all the ability to go to the top of the middleweight division.
Tomorrow night's lightweight main event. He is the former undisputed UFC lightweight champion, Rafael Dos Anjos.
You know, I love this, right? I love shooting your shot. RDA is a guy that's kind of gotten lost, right? He had that big win over Paul Felder.
156, the official
pounds,
weight
right?
for
Got that
Rafael
win
Dos
over Paul Felder
Anjos.
back at lightweight. Hasn't been able to find the fight, right? Hasn't been scheduled. So what do? You tie yourself to the biggest fight of the year. Very smart by RDA. Because remember what Michael Chandler did. Michael Chandler went and waited over there, got his official debut, and the next thing you know, he was fighting for a title. I'm telling you, man, smart by RDA.
Good move.
All right, here's Gilbert Burns, one half of our co-main event, Laura.
I mean, the stats speak for themselves there. I mean, the submission game that Gilbert Burns brings to the octagon
170 and a half, the official weight for Gilbert Durino Burns.
is virtually unparalleled. But then you add in the striking, the powerful, the powerful Stanford MMA style Dutch kickboxing that he has. And he is so hungry to get back into that title picture.
Next athlete to the scale coming up on his 20th UFC appearance here Saturday night, 15th ranked middleweight contender, Brad Tavares.
I'm excited to see Brad Tavares back on a regular schedule here. He's had some long periods of inactivity in his career. He had a knee surgery to deal with, but he came back out in January, got that nice win over Antonio Carlos Jr., and he's just looking to build on that momentum and get back to, more regularly scheduled programming. But this is his 20th UFC fight. And he's not a guy that necessarily the everyday...
The official weight for Brad Tavares.
Not a guy that, the everyday person necessarily knows about. So underrated in this division.
Still waiting on Conor McGregor to weigh in, the biggest superstar in this sport. And he really has since that unbelievable run in 2014 and 2016-ish. He's a household name, Conor McGregor. He's the highest paid athlete in sports. He made $180 million, first fighter to hold 2 UFC championships in 2 different divisions at the same time. The fastest finish in UFC championship history against Jose Aldo. We all remember that one, and that happened with the quickness. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves, and this is one of those fights, DC, where his legacy is already made. So maybe more of a legacy fight for Poirier than it is for Conor, but still an important one. Again, you've been through these trilogy fights before.
Helly, I do agree with you to a degree, right? Conor is still going. So as you continue to go, you do still build on that legacy, right? First double champ and all those other things. But if he continues to lose, right? We saw it with Anderson, where Anderson was unquestionably the greatest fighter of all time. And then he kept fighting and losing. And now people start to question, well, is it this guy? Conor still has things to do. The legacy will remain, as you said, Helly. But with a title shot looming, if he gets the belt again, there's still so much more for him to gain by winning this fight against Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, one thing I think about Conor is that he seems to have the cheat code to making things work for him.
Yeah.
So it's like that left hand in the beginning was the cheat code. And the way he operates is he's able to do things before everybody figures him out. But that's where I question him into this trilogy because Dustin Poirier has been in front of him twice.
Yep.
So what is he going to bring to the table this time in terms of that cheat code?
For me, Conor is the ultimate competitor. This is no longer about money. It's not necessarily, it's a type of legacy, right? But it's about Conor competing with himself to a large degree. And the thing about a trilogy is it cuts to the heart of what fighting is about. Who's really better? Because we do this all the time. We're like, oh, 8 out of 10 times so-and-so would win. But that one of those 2 times happened. In a trilogy, you get much closer to really knowing who is the better fighter. And I think that matters to Conor McGregor.
I'm so curious how important this fast start is for Conor. I think it was Max Holloway that said it a little while ago. He's the best starter in the game. He just comes out so quickly. And a common thought has been that the longer this fight goes, the better chance Poirier has.
I feel like everybody's saying that, right? First round, it's got to be Conor McGregor. But the thing is, Conor McGregor's fight game is built around having the space to have perfect technique. That's how his fight game is built. If this fight becomes a fight, becomes dirty, becomes nasty. Dustin Poirier was raised in a swamp, quite literally, and in the fight
He
game
really
too.
was.
He can live in that swamp. And Conor McGregor, it's not a mental thing. He doesn't quit. He doesn't give up. It is how his fight game is built, and it's not built to be in the swamp.
Dustin Poirier will be joining us here on set in just a couple of minutes, and we just got word that the notorious Conor McGregor has entered the building. So we're going to get to see him step up to the scale in just a few minutes. And it's interesting to see Poirier get into that verbal war of words and actually get a couple of zingers yesterday during the press conference, Dean. I enjoyed that aspect.
Well, I think Poirier was a lot more comfortable this time. I think he knew what to expect, and he knew not to let Conor get into his head. He was a lot more comfortable, so the ideas just kind of came to him. And I think he's so much in a better place now to be facing Conor than he was, especially the first time.
He's also talked a lot. I'm talking about Dustin now. He's been very candid about how much Conor got into his head before the first fight. You know, if you've watched any of the Embeddeds or any of the Notorious documentary, you saw that. And he's like, I've never hated somebody as much as I've hated him before. That doesn't seem to be the case at all this time because he's been there, he's done that. Third time around, he knows exactly what to expect.
He's a different fighter. He's a different person. And you saw him. I mean, Conor was trying everything. He was poking at his wife. You don't poke at the wife. But Dustin remained calm. He called him a see you next Tuesday. And Dustin remained calm. He's a different person. You just got it.
I mean, wow. Yeah. It took me a second. Dean still ain't got it.
I got it. See you next. Okay. Sorry.
I'm like, wait a minute.
All right, next fighter to the scale. The other man around whom this fight
and here is Conor McGregor stepping to the scale, walked into the building just a few moments ago, wasting very little time walking to the scale now. Let's take a listen.
The official weight, 156 pounds for Conor McGregor.
And look at McGregor right now compared to yesterday, right? He didn't look sucked down, so he left the weight on for a long time to just pull it off. Right now, he might look a little sucked down, as everybody is on the scale, but you could tell he kept the weight heavy. So the weight's going to go back on very quickly in the rehydration. So expect McGregor to look big and full tomorrow night when they step in the octagon, as will Dustin Poirier. Both guys on weight. Both guys look tremendous. They both look in phenomenal shape. Man, biggest fight of the pay-per-view. And these fighters, they know it.
I thought he looked focused. You know, when his gaze towards the camera, when he was on the scale, I thought he looked very focused. I thought he looked very determined. And like DC said, he did look a little sucked out, but, obviously, that's part of the fight game. But I think he looks focused. I think he looks ready, and I think he looks prepared.
He's got the best team in the world around him, so he's got the top-notch nutritionist telling him how to cut that weight. And like you say, DC, leaving it on to the last minute and just cutting that water at the very end there. But I feel like, everybody's been talking about Conor's mindset. It's such a talking point for this fight. And I genuinely don't think it's necessarily about getting into Dustin's head. I think Conor on some level knows that that's not necessarily going to work. I think it's about Conor talking to himself.
A lot of times fighters are trying to convince themselves of things, right? This kid doesn't question his ability. He doesn't question his ability. He believes he's the baddest man. He thinks he's the greatest fighter of all time. Wins and losses don't define him. So you can go in there with a comfortness, with an ability to really let go because it's all for you.
Yeah.
The fans will not view you in a different light. Every time we went in there, when I was fighting, if you had the belt, you had to keep the belt because you know that made people view you in a certain light. It's not that way for this guy. So this guy does this for only himself, and he has the utmost confidence. The issue is, he's got a bad boy in front of him. And these guys are very evenly matched. And it's going to come down to...
Thank you, RJ.
You're welcome.
Hi, RJ.
Get ready for Dustin
Hey, guys.
Poirier to join us here on Set Momentarily.
It's going to come down to who fights better on the night. It's that simple.
When you talk about comfort, I'm telling you, I rode back on the bus with Dustin Poirier in Abu Dhabi after that fight, and he told me, he said, I was never more relaxed and more comfortable and felt no pressure than I did tonight. And that's how he felt going into that last fight. Now, and that was after being knocked out by Conor.
Yeah,
now,
for sure.
going into a fight after knocking him out, could you imagine how comfortable
hear
he's
it
going to be?
coming off of him.
Yeah, he's just comfortable and,
And it was
confident.
6 months ago
Yes.
versus years
Wasn't
and years
that
later.
long
This is-
ago.
How long do you have to not completely change your game, but
I
you
think
talk
it's
about
soon.
take the boxing out.
I think it's soon.
Figure out how to check the leg, check the calf kicks, all the things he's got to tweak.
I think it's soon, Laura. 6 months to fix that. He did not look like he knew. Because remember, when Conor was fighting before, he washed Cowboy out, right? This wasn't a fight. He smashed Cowboy. It was one-sided. It was a wipeout. It lasted all of 30 seconds or something like that. Conor hadn't fought since he fought Khabib. Khabib doesn't kick. Khabib is not a guy that's kicking you. When Conor was here before, those low leg kicks were not as present as they are today. It's a newer technique, right? And he did not seem to have the answers. So in 6 months, could he have changed that in order to counter effectively and stop Dustin from doing it? I don't know if that's possible in this short period of time.
Wonder Boy stepping to the scale here in just a moment. This is Stephen Thompson.
World title challenger and number 4.
I'm Stephen Wonderboy Thompson from Simpsonville, South Carolina. And Dan, I'm not afraid to say it, man. I think you're better looking than Brendan Fitzgerald. Just saying.
Last night, 6 pound. Not bad. I'm good right now. I just drink.
Oh, that was very nice of him.
170.5, the official weight for Stephen Thompson.
One of the funny things was we posted a picture from our last weigh-in show, and somebody said, "Man, I didn't know Wonder Boy had aged so much."
I mean, that looks like you.
Am I an old Wonder Boy?
You're an
A
old
little
Wonder
bit, a little bit.
Right?
It's
An old,
true. Yeah.
washed up Wonder
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah.
Oh, washed up, sitting behind the desk with a blue shirt
divisiveness
Wonder Boy.
continues.
Here's Jennifer Maya. Let's focus on a fighter for now instead of DC.
On you.
It's not even funny.
Well, listen, last time we saw Jennifer Maya, she was facing one of the most dominant female fighters we have seen in the UFC, in Valentina Shevchenko. Let's hear her weight real quick.
Put your arms down.
Quick,
She
yeah.
had her arms up that scale with them. Put your arms
Official weight
minute.
125.5
Oh, my
for
goodness.
Jennifer
DC
Maya.
knows all the tricks. DC knows
Hey,
all the
come
tricks.
on, Laura, every time? You gonna take a shot at me every time?
I am.
Why
yes.
not?
It's a weigh-in
It's
show.
crazy.
Yeah,
It's a weigh-in show.
I didn't cheat.
Point being, she looked fantastic. What did you just say? What did you just say?
I just asked Dustin Poirier if he thinks I cheated.
What do you think,
I don't think so.
And-
That's
but
my
yeah,
point. See that? Hey,
Hold on.
But Dustin was like, wink, wink.
Strong bro code right there. Strong
Where are
bro
you from
code.
again?
Scale doesn't lie.
You guys, they're from the same home.
Scale don't lie. Scale don't lie.
They're blood brothers. Dustin, thanks so much for joining us here. I know you want to get some fluids in you, and we'll let you do that as soon as you can. Everybody's so pumped up for this trilogy fight. So different, obviously, than the first time, the last fight on Fight Island. What is the biggest difference for you this time around against Conor?
The biggest difference for me, it's I proved something to myself that I knew I could do. I went out there and beat him, and it's a different fight now. You know, every fight we fought 3 times now, or we will be after Saturday, and every fight was a different fight. So as long as I'm better than yesterday, you know, that's what I look at.
It was a spirited press conference yesterday. I was thoroughly entertained from both sides, especially you getting some verbal jabs in there. Are those some of the things that you were premeditated, or was that just off the cuff when you came?
That was off the cuff. I saw. I'm not sure what you're talking about, which comment you're talking about, but the.
Sleepy McGregor, I believe.
Oh, his team was sitting in front all wearing McGregor fast shirts, and I just thought about it when he was talking up there. I dropped the ball, though. It should have been McGregor fast asleep. That's what it should have been.
You always think about that.
You got it in here. I didn't hear.
Dana took a knee right there.
That clipped Dana a little bit?
Yeah, that's what he told me after. He said I got a knee in the chest.
Oh, jeez.
Better him than me.
You know, going into this fight, the third fight, right? We always say there's no more surprises. You could see in the fight where you started to get your rhythm a little bit. When you took the left hand, you said it buzzed you. When you realized, hey, I'm still here, how much confidence did it give you to kind of go at him in the way that you did?
I knew I was going to press forward and try to hurt him with shots, but as fighters, you know, when you get hit with the shot, it's just what we do. You push forward. I wasn't really surprised.
You know, you told me before we left on Sunday, you go, yeah, I'll mix in some of my wrestling. But it wasn't like you were so like, I'm definitely wrestling. But you went in there, you took him down with a different type of attack. And I feel, and do you feel, like that changed the way that he could approach the fight because he knew that you had the ability to take him down?
He probably thought I was going to try to bang it out and be emotional with him, but I'm past that, man. I'm trying to move on strategy, not emotion. And that's the plan here tomorrow night, is go out there and whatever's open, I'll take it. You know, just be a mixed martial artist.
You know, you said something, and we watched a clip on my new show on ESPN, DC and RC. Cheap plug.
Yeah.
Cheap plug. I'm sorry, Dustin. But we watched a clip of you saying, I'd rather it just be me and you, right? We don't need the fans. A lot of people will say, I don't like the mindset, right? Especially from the outside. Why? Why don't you like the fans when in so many instances, those fans have uplifted you to some of your greatest performances?
Well, DC, if the fans aren't in the stands, they're buying a pay-per-view, and I'm trying to get them pay-per-view numbers.
Okay, now I understand. Now I understand.
That's 20,000 buys in that stadium tomorrow night.
Okay.
No, because I like it to be more intimate, like when we fought the Apex. It's just, fighting is chaotic. So when you have the element of people spilling beer and yelling crazy things at you while you're walking out, it's just, for me, it's smoother sailing without that.
Remember growing up, you know, I'll put this thing on your shoulder. That if you knock it off, you're talking about my mama.
Chip?
And then you put your shoulder next to each other. You walk in a circle for 20 minutes. You want that. You want you versus him mano a mano.
Yeah, I like that because I know that's what I do better than everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So you sort of have like this love-hate relationship with him. I mean, the first it was hate, and then, you know, the next fight he's holding on to your you know, he's
not with him with fighting. You know, it's not even him. He's an opponent with the style, but I don't even care who's in front of me, their name. It's not even him, you know. I respect the guy. I don't hate anybody. I like the guy. He's amazing. He's done some amazing things. It's just he's an opponent in the body in front of me.
Yesterday, you guys looked pretty tense. Like, looked like you, when he went to grab the hot sauce, you looked like you wanted to charge him. Dana had to grab you. I mean, it's almost like you were aware that antics were coming. So you.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was going to be crazy. Yeah.
Why does he think that you're a hillbilly? I keep telling everybody, Dustin Poirier is not a hillbilly. Why does he call it?
There's no hills in Lafayette. It's called the Flat.
Why does he call you a
I'm trying to tell you, when we were at that press conference together, he made fun of both of us. We were sitting right next to each other. He's like, they're both from small town, you know? It's like, it's not a hillbilly town.
Nah, there's no hillbillies out there.
Dustin, you talked this week with Megan about, you know, your motivation, and you said you would literally light yourself on fire to keep your family warm. It was just an amazing phrase. And when you think about this fight and you think about what it would mean to your family, what kind of motivation does that give you?
It gives me a lot of motivation. I know that another win over him, I know what it does to my career. You know, my trajectory just keeps going up. More opportunities come with that. Obviously a title fight. But I'm a prize fighter, but first and foremost, I'm a provider. And that's why I went this route and doubling down on myself and fighting this guy again to get to that world title. I haven't had an easy road. And if I'm truly the best in the world, then tomorrow night I'm going to win again, and I'll fight for the belt, you know.
Yep.
I didn't get here by accident, so, you know, that's just my journey and my route and my story.
It's amazing how much family can actually motivate you as a father and a mother, and I love seeing the posts of the kids on, you know, Instagram and the embedded when you're talking to them on FaceTime and everything. I also loved a piece called The Man in the Arena that you helped us voice. We're going to show this right now. It's the famous Teddy Roosevelt quote.
I have it hanging in my gym on the wall in Louisiana.
I know it really means something to you. Let's take a look.
The Man in the Arena by Theodore Roosevelt. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better.
The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena.
Conor McGregor!
whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood.
What a war, what an amazing fight.
Who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again. Because there is no effort without error and shortcoming.
We win some, we lose some. I will never shy away from a challenge. I will never shy away from defeat. I'll come back.
But who does actually strive to do the deeds? Who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions.
Could he finish him here? It's all over! Conor McGregor! Oh, baby, he did it! Yeah!
Who spends himself in a worthy cause.
I've overcome adversity so many times. Everybody out there, there's people telling you can't do it, or you're the underdog, or telling you told you're not good enough. I've been told that my whole life, and I'm the world champ.
Who at best knows in the end of the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly.
So that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat.
What goes through your mind when you watch that?
It's, you know, I know both very well, and I'm acquainted with both, and, you know, that hits my heart, you know. It's deep to me.
That's why it's on the wall in your gym.
Yeah.
It's real, right? There are a lot of people that can judge, but not many people can do what you do because you're out there to be judged by millions. And it's whether you win or you lose, somebody has something to say. And we hear it all, right? You hear it all.
Yeah. But through the ups, the downs, the victories, defeat, it's made me who I am, and I've learned the lessons along the way, and I'm thankful for both, you know.
You know, you've actually been, like, made in this octagon, like forged in this octagon, in front of all these people. So when you sit in there and you walk into that arena tomorrow night and you walk into that octagon, you see that familiar face, right? We've all done it, right? I fought 7 times with 3 people. So I understand being in front of a familiar face. When you look at McGregor tomorrow night, for the last time, because this will be the last time, how happy are you going to be to end this chapter and move forward onto something different?
I'll be happy, man. I want to seal the deal. And like I've been saying this whole lead up, we owe it to each other. You know, we're 1-1. We owe it to each other to go out there at both of our best and find out who's better. You know, and I think it's an interesting matchup. One mistake, you know, is the end of this fight.
For as long as Conor lately, it takes time between fights. Do you think ego is why he's back so soon? I really wanted to ask you that. Like, with the limited amount of time to go and correct some of the issues he had against you, 6 months he's back to fighting you. Him and Diaz haven't even finished a trilogy. It's been years. But he wants to fight you right away. Is it his ego making him go back so quickly?
What else could it be? I mean, the guy has all the money he can spend. He has 2 belts, 2 different weight classes at home. He's a UFC Hall of Famer. Gonna be, you know, he's done it all. Why is he still fighting? Because he wants to prove that he's the best. You know, that's ego, that he wants to solidify his greatness, you know, even further. So that's a dangerous man.
But it's you he wants to fight, right? And it's because you got him back.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this tomorrow night? Because this will be the biggest fight of your life. For all that you've done, this is the biggest fight of your life. How ready is Dustin Poirier?
Let's go. Let's go. I'm ready right now.
Don't beat up D.
Yeah, I'm about to beat up D. I'm about to guillotine D.
Hey, Dustin, we really appreciate the time, man.
Hey, thank you.
I know everybody's rooting for you. This is going to be a hell of a night. I mean, packed house in Vegas. This is what you do it for. You do it for your family. Good luck.
Thank you, man.
Looking forward to seeing you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dustin.
I know DC had so many questions for you. He could do this forever. We got to get back to the weigh-in show. And I know you want to go get some food.
Hey, and I know Conor was talking crazy yesterday, talking about killing me and all that. I go to sleep every night praying that he gets home to his family safe. You know, I'm not out here to hurt anybody or do anything like that. So I just want to put that out there.
My man.
Thank you,
brother.
Yeah.
Thank
Good
you.
luck, man.
Get some rest, man.
Great to see you.
Some food.
Good to see you, man. Thank you, guys. You're doing great, DC. You're doing great. And don't forget to tune in to DC's show at 10 o'clock every Wednesday.
139.5.
Wow.
The official weight for Irene Aldana.
Okay, so
Oh, man.
Aldana, our first fighter to miss so far.
Yeah, and significantly too. I mean, that really says a lot right there. And she talked this week about how she's taken a little bit extra time off. She had a foot surgery. She dealt with COVID. So I wonder if some of those things played a factor here. But that's a pretty significant.
I was talking to her nutritionist, and he just said she was a tad bit heavy when she got here.
Yeah.
This morning, they made a decision. Sometimes you got to protect your fighter.
Yeah.
And Ian Larios is one of the best in the business, and Ian and her team made a decision.
Tai Baby Tuivasa here, fighting out of Western Sydney, Australia. The key to a perfect shoey. I suppose the winner should have to spit in it, and the other loser has to drink it. Get in there, give it a whirl.
The official weight, 263 pounds for Tai Tuivasa.
You may or may not be seeing a shoey later in the show by somebody on this desk. 263.
Ty's disgusting. He really is one of my friends. He's very disgusting.
It's a tradition.
Tai Tuivasa
To be
is
disgusting?
Yeah.
No,
In
Tai
Australia?
Tuivasa's fun. Let's say that. He's very fun. But he's gross.
Here's a look at some of the guys still to weigh in. Hardy, Condit on this list. We have, 6 fighters.
I mean, that seems like a lot. Generally, we get through this show, and we're off the games already.
We just had Dustin Poirier up here on set, and it was really interesting to see him watch that Man in the Arena piece, and you could see how emotional he got about that. Here's another look at Dustin Poirier.
Diamonds, long known as symbols of love, commitment, and status. But these elegant and most precious of stones are the result of a process of refinement.
These diamonds, they're so rare. And when you find something that's just so special and you put the work into it, you cut it right, and then it comes out what you wanted and what you believed in from the beginning, and then you have this beautiful finished product.
For Dustin the Diamond Poirier, his journey perhaps most befits the moniker he so proudly possesses, an authentic diamond in the rough, formed on the streets of Lafayette, Louisiana.
I just came up the hard way. Been fighting for everything I own, everything I've got in my life. I've worked for and fought for.
That's it. It's over. Wow. Dustin wasn't lying. I never seen anything like it.
Being from Louisiana, a bunch of, rough people, who work hard. And I think that me being a kid and seeing that and going through all that, I think it helped me be the hard worker I am today, I'm not scared to put in the time and work. I know that it pays off.
When we see the rough diamond, it only begins to tell us its true potential. We put it in front of a cutter, and then through a meticulous process, the finished product begins to take shape.
The raw form, honed, sharpened, polished over countless minutes, hours, days, and more. A gradual ascent, just beginning to reveal pieces of potential. But even the most precious of diamonds are not without flaws.
There is character in every stone, and just as there's character in every person, so the same is every diamond, a story in and of itself that we love seeing their story told.
Small imperfections inspiring renewed commitment to the idiom. Back to the grindstone.
Final 10 seconds. The standing ovation has already started here in Atlanta.
I've got knocked down. I've climbed back up. Like I said before, man, this is my belt. I earned this in blood. I paid in full. This is mine.
It's so exciting that you saw it come from nothing to become what it is. You know what it went through, where it started.
Still imperfect, but resilient, vibrant, enduring. And with every expertly refined facet, something dazzling brilliant, and truly extraordinary. Because after all, diamonds are forever.
How good is our production staff?
I mean, they okay.
They're so good.
Yeah.
I mean, dude over there, no good.
Let me tell you something. People talk about NFL films. That's as good as it gets. These are unbelievable pieces they put together, and taking the inside, resilient, brilliant, small imperfections. Going
I
from
get
something to
chills.
nothing.
I get chills every time I see a piece like that. And not a lot of people know this, but I used to work in the diamond industry in New York, and that analogy is so perfect for Dustin Poirier because every single diamond is unique. Every single diamond is its own story and has little flaws, but is still so valuable, so strong, so resilient.
You know, Laura, this piece touches me so close to home. I used to work in the diamond business in New York City.
You know what?
Wait, what? Wait, what?
I was nice right there. I tossed to you.
No, wait.
I tossed to you. You're over here going,
I'm just
I have a point
because
to
I
make.
just want to talk about my story in the diamond business. I just want to talk about my story in the diamond
Hold on, wait a
business.
minute. You worked in the diamond business?
In New York City,
I worked in the diamond business in New York City.
Hey,
You know what
and
I'm
every
saying?
diamond is beautiful.
I had another
every diamond is
45
beautiful,
seconds of amazing
beautiful,
thoughts
some
to
little
communicate.
imperfections, but
I
you know what? It
allowed
makes us who we
you
are.
to merge into traffic and you trash me?
I'm not trashing you. I'm just kidding. So your journey, I can talk about my journey. You know, every diamond has a little imperfection, and it makes you who you are. It's so beautiful. It really touches me to my heart.
Yeah, I get it.
It does. You can
I'm
feel
sorry
it.
that this
Yeah,
is
man.
coming off
I can't believe you used to sell diamonds.
I mean, I used to sell diamonds.
I bought some
Because
fake
guess
diamonds.
what? Diamonds are forever,
That's
as
right.
the piece
Yeah.
said so eloquently.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, come on,
Just
man.
always taking shots.
He's just mad.
What did I
I got
do,
all
man?
the
I
jewelry
can't
on.
even
I
think.
got all the jewelry on.
All right, let's get back to the weigh-in for a minute. We showed you that we had
fan,
6 people yet to weigh in. Here's Ilia Topuria.
Man, if you're not familiar with Ilia Topuria, you really you're going to want to remember his name. He is undefeated, 10-0. He has finished 9 of those 10 wins. He's got a nasty submission game, but the hands to back it up as well. He's got an interesting puzzle ahead of him, of course, in Ryan Hall, but really, really promising, exciting young fighter here.
145.5, the official weight for Ilia Topuria.
And he's got a buffet of submissions, too. It's not like he only gets rear naked chokes. I want to know how his leg
A
locking is.
buffet of submissions.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
These guys actually weighed in while we were running that feature. Alan Amandovsky is coming to the scale here, Dean.
Yeah, I spoke with his coach 2 days ago, Eric Nixick, and he said, man, he's such a quiet guy, but that's the type of guy that he likes because he just puts his head down and he does the work. He's not afraid of anybody. He puts his head down and does the work. And he wants to go, he went all in on this camp because he feels like this is his last opportunity.
186, the official weight for Alan Amandovsky.
Yeah, he feels like this is his last opportunity to make it happen for him. So he put all his chips in, put his head down, did all the work, and he's ready.
Now, still looking for that first win is Alan Amandovsky. All right, our first game of
about time. Like, I mean,
UFC 264 weigh-in show. If you're new to the show, you're watching on ESPN Plus for the first time, we like to play games here. We keep it loose, but we also keep it quick. While DC's texting who knows what. Is it Ryan Clark on your phone? Are you going to pay attention to the game? What are you doing over there?
I would never.
You see how they do that?
Yeah, you see that?
Ryan,
They try to play me a little bit. That's cool. It's all good, though.
You guys ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right, this is a little rapid fire. Keep it moving.
All right.
Okay? Ladies first. Whose motivation should be higher entering this fight, Conor or Dustin?
I actually think Conor McGregor's motivation should be higher because I think it goes back to what DC asked the question about to Dustin. It's his ego. It's his ego. And I think that this really matters to him as a competitor. He wants to go out there and prove that 2 out of 3 times he's the better fighter than Dustin Poirier.
Dustin Poirier for me. Dustin Poirier because he is considered the best lightweight in the world. He wins this fight, wins the title. He's a man.
I think Conor, because he's got all the money in the world, he's really got nothing to gain from this other than to, stroke his ego. So he's got to be, more motivated for this.
Buy or sell? Poirier's game plan should be the same as it was in the last fight.
I'm selling that. I think Conor's going to come in very different. He got rid of all of his boxing coaches. I think he's going to come out much more like we saw him before, more bladed stance, more bouncy. So I think Dustin's going to have to mix it up, but that's what Dustin's game is built around. I don't think he's going to have a problem doing that.
I'm buying it, man. I'm buying it. I think that low calf kick is so damaging. If he can land only a few of them, he can really hurt Conor again very quickly.
Yeah, I'm buying it too, but I don't think it was the low calf kick. When I talked to him before, he said that wasn't even the original plan. I think there's another original plan that he needs to get back to.
That's a great point because he saw that it was effective and he just kind of kept going to it. Okay, the biggest adjustment that Conor has to make is it to defend the calf kick.
Are we? What's the?
No, it's no buy or sell. Just the biggest adjustment.
Yes, I mean, that's the most obvious adjustment that he needs to make, but there's other adjustments. I mean, Dustin Poirier has a lot of weapons. We keep talking about the one, but he's got the wrestling. I mean, they were clipping each other in the pocket. Conor got some good shots in, but listen, this is an MMA fight. Is it the biggest adjustment? Yeah, I guess.
There's a couple things, right? Make sure he's not taking those low calf kicks. He can't go all out with the left hand, though. That's one of the biggest ones because every time he did that, he got hit with the counter right hook. And Dustin has a nasty check right hook. So he's got a few adjustments to make. The calf kick's the most obvious, as Laura said. But he's got to really kind of reel in the excitement of throwing the left hand a little bit.
You know, I don't think it's the calf kick, really. When they fought the first time, Dustin was throwing kicks. I think it was the movement of Conor McGregor that was what he really needs to get back to because when he fought him the second time, he just stood there. I think it's the movement. I think that's his adjustment, more movement.
All right, lasting legacy. We talk a lot about legacy in this fight. Whose lasting legacy will be impacted most, Dustin or Conor's?
I'm going to go with Conor. I think that Conor has so much on the line for this fight. Dustin Poirier has established himself as this diamond. Conor needs this fight. It's a tough question, though, because Conor's always going to be Conor. Conor's always going to be a draw.
That's where
that's a hard one to answer.
That's why I say Dustin. Because if Dustin wins, he got 2 wins over Conor McGregor. And that in itself may get you into the Hall of Fame.
Can I change my answer?
Well, I mean, no, it's too late. It's over.
That's still your answer.
Yeah, that's a wrap now. But Conor is Conor. It's done. He's a double champ, right? He's done everything. Yeah, his legacy secure. Dustin needs to get the second win over McGregor.
I don't even think Dustin needs to get it, but I think that it just elevates his status if he does get it.
It just makes sense. Even the followers on Instagram, the dude gained 2 million followers overnight when he beat him. Like, Khabib got 10. It's like, just beating Conor means so much.
Yeah, but I would say Dustin, for sure.
Yeah, he said his phone, since winning that fight, has just been blown up. The opportunities, the money that's coming in because of that. Let's focus on another fight. Can Wonder Boy actually leapfrog Colby Covington or Leon for a title shot if he has a fantastic performance here?
I would like to think that he could because I actually think he poses a really interesting challenge for Kamaru Usman, but Dana White has been very adamant. Colby. He loved that fight. He wants to see it again. Wonder Boy's going to have to go out there and do something really spectacular. That's not necessarily... The big finishes haven't been what we've seen from him, so I don't know that that's going to happen, but I think he's got a tricky fight against Kamaru.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's going to be Colby Covington. And honestly, I believe that Colby Covington is the toughest fight for the champion, Kamaru Usman. But there's still Leon Edwards. I mean, how in the world did this guy just get so forgotten?
I know,
He's
it's
won
crazy.
9
It's crazy.
fights.
It's crazy.
Like, I mean, come on.
I mean, I don't really even know why everybody thinks Wonder Boy is the biggest threat. I mean, what have you seen in Usman's game to make you feel like there's a weakness in his game that he can't adjust to Wonder Boy? I don't get it.
It's Wonder Boy causes problems for a lot of people, but I'm not certain that.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's going to. Who else has caused problems for Usman? He's been able to adapt to everybody.
Well, he just hasn't faced Wonder Boy.
Yeah, but he's getting better.
Wonder Boy is an anomaly.
Better.
Wonder Boy is an anomaly. There are like 3 people in the world that can get you ready to face Wonder Boy. There
That's
are a
why
lot
that
of
one
people
dude
that
just keeps going. They got one guy that's in everybody's camp. What's his name?
Make a
I'm
lot of
blanking on
extra
it
money.
right now.
All right, sorry, I got us off track there. Not
Raymond
quite
Daniels.
Raymond Daniels in everybody's camp, though.
We had him too. I had him with Tyron too. Yeah,
everybody had him.
He's just such a unique look. That's my main.
Okay, crystal ball. Let's try to predict the future. Who's more probable to make a UFC title run? Sean O'Malley, Ilia Topuria, Ryan Hall, or Dricus du Plessis?
Dricus du Plessis is very interesting to me, but I'm going to go with Sean O'Malley. I think that we need to see him tested against a wrestler, though. And what are you laughing at me about over there? What you looking at?
No. Topuria is a fantastic prospect. I just heard that in my ear. But Topuria
they're feeding you information. That's
wait,
great.
I'm just better than you guys.
That's great.
But Topuria's a fantastic prospect. But
Yes.
Sean O'Malley, because of who he is and the following, as we know, sometimes the route can be a little shorter if you have a massive backing. So, yes, Sean O'Malley.
Yeah, but if you're having a massive backing and the road being a little shorter, this fight doesn't make sense for him.
No, but are you crazy? This is the absolute right fight.
Well, I mean, in a way,
they had so many top 10 guys going, I'll fight him, I'll fight him, I'll fight him. And said, you know what, Sean, this is essentially a showcase fight if he does what he's supposed to do, right? And then he can jump into another big fight. I'm telling you, dude, the foundation's being laid for Sean O'Malley. And with his star power, we could see him in a title fight much sooner than most people.
So who, it was Ryan Hall.
Ryan Hall.
No, I don't think so. Yeah. I don't know if any. I don't know if any of them do, to be honest with you.
Ilia Topuria is I mean, that guy's a beast.
Honestly, I don't even think Ilia Topuria is going to beat Ryan Hall.
Really?
Yes.
These said
and
Ryan
here's
Hall
why: because he's also a grappler, and if he gets into a grappling match with Ryan Hall, he will for sure lose.
Hey, these like Ilia.
But he can throw hands.
Ryan, I don't think any of them.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to need that. He's going to need that.
You're like, I don't think any of them.
I had to be honest.
Dean was really busy making candles.
No, I had to be honest about
that. Get all his, his research.
That's why we love Dean Thomas.
Homemade gift from Dean to me.
Can we just revisit the facts that he traveled here?
Yeah, but these are supposed to be quick topics.
And glasses.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Right? It's called rapid fire, but man, come on, Dad.
Hey, can you stop talking?
Yeah.
Let me be the point guard here and dish out some assists here.
Lay out, DC.
I mean, all right, here we go. Fact or fiction? With a win, Carlos Condit should be back fighting a top 15 opponent.
I'm going to go with fiction. I don't know that I'm ready to see Carlos Condit with a number beside his name yet when you've got guys out there like James Krause, like Miguel. What are you looking at?
That's a homer answer right there.
Come on, bias.
That's a homer answer.
Listen, Louisiana. I can rep for KC. He's got a 5-fight win streak in welterweight. The only loss he has was on 24 hours notice. I'm just saying there's guys like him that probably deserve a number a little sooner.
I'm going to say fiction, just because I want to see Carlos Condit in more fun fights.
Legacy fights.
I agree with the same thing. I think he should be in legacy fights and not worry about trying to climb the ranks. He should just be worried about making money and putting on a show.
Buy or sell? There's going to be at least one takedown in the Tuivasa Hardy fight.
I'm buying it. I think it would be very interesting to see. We might see someone mix that in. I actually think Greg Hardy might try to shoot. I don't know. Ty's been training with you guys, though. I mean, he's got to know how to shoot now.
Buy. I'm buying it because we saw him in the clinch against Stefan Struve a lot, Tai Tuivasa. So maybe that leads to a takedown. Or one of them may trip. One of them may trip and fall. One of them may trip and fall, and that's counted as a takedown, right? When you just fall down. So that's kind of where I would see a takedown because Ty can't wrestle.
I'm going to buy it. I think Greg is at the point of his career now where he's like, you know what? I'm a mixed martial artist. He's training with Rashad Evans full time, and I think that he's going to try to take him down at some point.
Well, and then Greg didn't look that good when he was wrestling last time either. So.
I don't
know. None of them are you.
No, but I mean, I'm not talking about this Olympic caliber wrestling. I'm just talking about the wrestling that you guys probably try to do.
Yeah.
You really don't take your own advice on the rapid fire game. Okay, over under 4 minutes.
I hand you a compliment and you just.
I know,
Price.
I want that.
Pereira, over under 4 minutes. Price. Pereira, you cannot answer.
Oh, under. That fight is not going the distance at all. We're doing rapid fire, so we're moving on.
Yeah, you know what?
I'm going over, but not the distance.
I know.
Okay.
Late.
Helly ain't gonna be the one to tell me what to do. You're lucky I got it in my ear that I wouldn't.
Don't make me come over there.
Okay. All right.
All right. We already know that Conor, obviously the most influential fighter in MMA history. But Dana White said if Conor wins his next 2 fights, Poirier, presumably Charles Oliveira, he'll be an all-time great fighter. If he does, one of the top 10 GOATs, top 5 GOATs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I would agree with that. I don't think you have to be perfect to be a top 5. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why do you have to undermine every
No, I'm not undermining you. I just had something in my eye.
You do not. You're over there acting like you've got a migraine.
No, I don't have a migraine.
If Conor McGregor wins the featherweight, the lightweight, then comes back and wins the lightweight again and beats Charles Oliveira and whoever else he beats after that, beats Dustin Poirier twice, you're telling me that man is not an all-time great?
No, he's an all-time great.
He changed the sport.
Yeah, he's an all-time great, and that's fine. But then Helly goes and takes it to the next level. He's one of the top 5 greats of all time. Like
he changed the sport.
That's where
top
10. Okay,
it's top 10.
You said top 5.
Top 5. I wanted to spice it up a little bit.
Top 10, okay. You said top 5.
He changed the sport. I'm just gonna keep saying that.
Top 10, okay.
Yeah,
top 5.
Top 5 is a stretch.
That's stretch. But
yeah,
top
that's
10.
a stretch.
Yeah, because you went off the script. Stated the script, Helly. You stated the script. Don't start doing crazy stuff. Helly goes off script and says top 3. Yeah. Oh, he's a top 3 GOAT. Yeah. What about George St. Pierre and the rest of the
But I will stay with the script here. We mentioned that he was the highest paid athlete in the world, making $180 million last year. Wherever Conor goes, there is a huge windfall. Take a look at the economic impact of this guy.
We're not here just to take part. We're here to take over.
Do Conor McGregor and his fans take over Las Vegas? The answer is emphatically yes.
Absolutely.
100% they take over the entire city.
Frankly, when McGregor comes to town, it's a week-long celebration.
There's very few times in Las Vegas where the sportsbook has monster financial liability, and those are Super Bowls, March Madness, Kentucky Derby, and now you can add Conor McGregor fights.
When McGregor fought Khabib, for example, I mean, the Vegas room rates were ridiculous, and people were paying about 2 times the amount of money in a normal room rate. That's what the demand, again, for Conor McGregor is.
I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman.
The suite that we're standing in right now starts at about $6,000 per night. But good luck on trying to get something like this during a Conor McGregor fight weekend. This is when the true whales come out. Your credit lines that are north of $250,000 or higher, these are the type of casino guests that are pulled when Conor McGregor comes into town, along with a bunch of A-list celebrities.
Now we fly back to Las Vegas, bring the butler, tell him I'm on my way.
The private airport here, they have notices that come out because there are so many private aircraft that come to Las Vegas to see McGregor fight. Actually, there's a special FAA group that gives out notifications to say, hey, if you're coming to Vegas on that weekend, make sure you know it's going to get backed up.
The army descends.
When there's a McGregor crowd in town, you can sell as many shots and beers at 4 in the morning as you can at 4 in the afternoon.
My weigh-ins generate more gate than the rest of them.
Look at this crowd!
As soon as a Conor McGregor fight is announced, the buzz begins. Anticipating the weigh-ins, the press conference, and all the excitement that's built up around the actual event.
Is this your first trip to Las Vegas? No, I actually own this town. I've been here many times. It's Super Bowl weekend every time Conor McGregor comes to Las Vegas. Everybody wants to see it. Everybody wants to be a part of it. When he's here, this is the place to be.
From an MMA perspective, it's not even close. Out of the 7 biggest gates here in our state, Conor McGregor was the main event in 6 of them. Now, how does that compare to a sport like boxing? Conor's right there with all of them. Tyson Holyfield, Maidana Mayweather, Fury Wilder, and let's not forget Pacquiao De La Hoya. Conor McGregor's top gate beat all of those. That's what he's been able to drive here in our state. When Conor McGregor fights in Las Vegas, everyone's a winner.
I do enjoy the fight business, I must say.
We have never seen anything in the UFC like the economic impact of Conor McGregor. Look at some of the names he's with right now. Forbes' highest paid athletes. There's LeBron. Dak Prescott signed that huge deal. $107.5 million.
They played
last
my
year
boy
for Dak
LeBron. Did you
Prescott.
see that?
Yeah, I know.
They played the boy
Yeah,
LeBron.
he does not look like...
He looked bad, bad.
And of course, you have some soccer players on the list. Ronaldo at $120 million last year. He's at number 3.
Hey, this dude got
He's
more
always
Instagram
on that
followers than
list.
any human on the planet. Ronaldo, yeah.
Look at Messi just sitting on his pile of money. $130 million. He's number 2. And you know who they're all chasing? The notorious Conor McGregor.
Like $50 million more, too.
Yeah.
I know, like the next guy, 50 million less.
Oh my gosh.
He's made
yes.
$50 million more than the rest of these dudes.
And you know the crazy thing is? 158 of that, according to Forbes, outside of the octagon.
Jeez.
And he is always hustling. He's always thinking. He's always, I mean, obviously the whiskey, a huge part of that. He was working.
Dude's a money machine, man. Like Dean said earlier, he has the secret recipe, right?
Yeah, it's always got the recipe and the cheat code and the life hack to make things work.
So why not put your name on more stuff? Why not do more business? Because if you're doing business like Conor McGregor's doing, then, I mean, why would you stop? You're making all this. You made $158 million out of the octagon. And he didn't fight Floyd Mayweather. Think about he fought Floyd Mayweather a couple years ago, made $100 million. Then he makes $180 last year. Like, how much money does Conor McGregor have?
But the question is that a lot of people have, hey, if you have all this money, why are you still fighting?
He's a competitor.
Exactly. Dana said the same thing. Yeah. He loves money, but he loves competing too. And that's what I think people love about Conor.
I don't think $100 million versus $180 million feels that difference. I wouldn't know. But feels that different on a day-to-day basis. Like, you're not living your life different because that. But the numbers, the visual of the numbers, and knowing that you're winning at this, you're winning at that. He is an ultimate competitor, and it's just crazy. Like, being in town this week for a Conor week is so wildly different. I mean, we've got more cameras than we've ever used before. We've got more broadcasters than we've ever used before. Let's go take a look at Carlos Condit here.
You know, you talk about the natural-born killer.
171 pounds, the official weight
to the pacing back and forth in the octagon. It's an experience, right? And to see him winning fights again is very encouraging. It's fun to watch, man. You kind of root for the older guys.
Yeah.
The guys that's been around for a while.
And he's got a style that lasts, too. Like, he wasn't the greatest athlete in the world, but he was such a technician that's able to translate to a fight when he's a little bit older, which is why you see him still being able to have some success now against these younger guys.
And you watch the game evolve, right? Last fight, he had to grapple a lot with Matt Brown, and he did a great job. You know, you always thought of Condit as the striker. And when he was taken down by GSP a lot in their title fight, it seemed like he was stuck under him. That just speaks to how good George St. Pierre was.
Yeah, for sure.
But also how he's improving as he's aging and building a fight style that works in today's MMA landscape.
Gone toe-to-toe with some of the all-time greats and coming off back-to-back wins. You mentioned Matt Brown and Corbin, his last two. Taking a look, 3 left. Greg Hardy among them.
That's crazy when a heavyweight's that late, right? When a heavyweight's that late, it's crazy.
So that could be cause for concern.
They heavyweights wait, though. Like, you guys like to sleep in and just make us wait.
We all just kind of came and weighed in. Plus, like, you're coming from the host hotel, right? So if you and your opponent are ready, like me and Stipe were ready to weigh in, we just came together. Like, not in the same car, obviously, but like same time we just left. We all just went to the weigh-in. So I don't know why Greg
said he assured us 340.
Well, he assured us that he was close, and it was the best weight cut of all time when we spoke to him. He weighed 340?
340.
He gets big sometimes.
Not recently, but at the beginning of this, he said, I can't be walking around at 340 anymore. I was like,
big old legs.
What number did
he
you
gets
say?
big. Greg gets big.
That's a lot. I mean, his playing weight was right around 275 when he played in the NFL. So that's not what he was used to carrying around during those NFL days. All right, the press conference show yesterday, very, very eventful. We decided to send R.J. Clifford, our stage manager, Sirius XM radio host, crack researcher, one of the best in the business, with a microphone around yesterday to get us a little behind-the-scenes look. Let's take a listen with RJ.
Hey, guys, stage manager RJ here. I have noticed a serious lack of journalistic integrity at our desk, so I've taken upon myself to fix that. I've kidnapped the cameraman, stolen a camera, and I'm in front of the presser right before the presser begins at the T-Mobile Arena to really get a feel of what everyone's thinking, to really get put my finger on the pulse of the fan base. You know, really try to add some journalism to this weigh-in show. Where'd you get that beer? Jesus Christ! How long have you been waiting?
We've been here since 11:30 a.m. First in line. Let me in this bitch. Let's go!
It's 111 degrees outside, and you've been here for 6 hours. So who you got? Conor or Dustin?
That's the dumbest question I've been asked the last 5 days. Who do you think I got?
Dustin?
Hell no, I got Conor McGregor, first round knockout.
Yeah,
go! 40-hour drive to get here.
40 hours?
For the Irish, man.
Did you come here from Uruguay?
No, Boston, Massachusetts. Dustin Poirier fan.
My man. It's fine. Okay, there we go. Long time. So what's he gonna do this time that's gonna replicate what he did last time?
Jumping Gill, he's gonna submit him in the 3rd round. We know that.
What's Conor gonna do different this time that he didn't do last time?
I think he's gonna be more aggressive and protect those legs.
He's got good legs, huh?
Yeah.
Dustin's gonna outbox him, straight outbox him. Get him, straight move his head, pa, pa, pa. Straight clean.
This is our first UFC event, and I wanted to take the chance to propose to my girlfriend. Will you marry me? Yes! And let's go, Conor!
Hey guys, RJ the stage manager here. We've taken refuge from the heat inside of T-Mobile Arena. In just moments, these doors are gonna open up, and throngs of what I assume to be highly inebriated Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier fans are gonna come storming in here. I think we got a little taste of what they're feeling out there, the fan base, but I still feel like some serious journalism is needed looking at UDC. So let's get back to work. Who do you got, Conor McGregor or Dustin Poirier?
Come on, Conor McGregor. What are we talking about here?
You want to talk? Conor or Dustin?
I got 5,000 on Conor McGregor.
Irish whiskey or Louisiana hot sauce?
Irish whiskey, all day.
Because of the nice little buzz you get.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you consider yourself a pretty hardcore MMA fan?
Not necessarily hardcore. You know, I don't got the tap out shirt, but I'm a fan for sure.
All right, let's test your knowledge real fast. Ready? Okay. Who is this man?
Wonder Boy.
How'd you know? Who's this MMA personality?
You're stumping me, bro.
Who is this? It is a fighter.
Dean Thomas.
Nailed it! Finally, there we go.
My girl Fancy.
Who's this?
My girl Fancy. Fancy, baby, #1. My girl.
How many Conor McGregor moves do you know?
All of them.
All of them? What's your favorite?
The wheel kick.
Whoa! All right, guys, the press conference is wrapping up. I feel like I did all the work I needed to do today. I got my interviews, I talked to the fans, I really got a feeling, really put my finger on the pulse of what's going on before UFC 264. All I need now is the Great White Whale. I need a Dana White interview. Let's go find him.
RJ, what are you doing? It's 118 degrees outside. Chill out.
That is amazing.
I woke up, guys. Don't worry. I woke up.
Yeah. You couldn't find the ball?
I couldn't find him. He was evading me because he knew I'd ask the hard questions.
Yeah,
And I got my journalism hat on, the big J.
You're after my job. You're after my.
This dude's good.
Listen, this
supposed to be a secret.
This man
but
talks
maybe.
for a living. Oh, by the way, everybody's betting 10 grand. They're getting married out there. Proposals. You break out the camera with RJ, anything happens.
Magic, just fireworks everywhere.
I'm
But
gonna say something. That proposal was fake.
You think
What?
it's fake?
It was fake.
They looked in love to me.
They looked in love, but she had like a tan on her finger, like she had a ring already.
You got great eyes.
Yeah, you do. It's unbelievable how you picked that
But
up.
I'm insulted that you said that we lack integrity.
Journalistic integrity.
As a guy with a lot of journalistic integrity, I got to call it how I see it, guys. Maybe this will help everyone raise their game a little bit.
Listen, I'm going to call it how I see it. It's time for you to do your today's job.
Okay,
Get these
got it,
two.
got it. Let's go.
What about when the
This
guy
sentence.
thought you were Wonder Boy? I mean, that was great, Wonder Boy. But they did recognize
seat?
Dean Thomas.
They did.
I'm
right off
the bat.
The pioneer.
You know why? He looks the same today. Dean hasn't changed much.
He might look even younger. All right, you guys are in our little fireside chat area.
Oh, this is
This is living rent-free in your head. You guys are going to run us through some videos. The kids do this on TikTok, and just kind of take us through where you're living rent-free in somebody's head with Conor and Dustin. You guys ready?
So,
Dean, give us a little rent-free moment here.
So my rent-free moment is Dustin Poirier's finish over Bobby Green. And this was a fight that really exemplifies killer instinct, accuracy, and just a way, and what we call get him drunk, keep him drunk. And that was what his boxing coach used to always say, get him drunk, keep him drunk. Now look how accurate he is on Bobby Green. Boom, boom. Hit him with the pow.
He's got that.
Yeah, I mean, and he just, Bobby Green was hanging tough, but he just couldn't stop the pressure. Right there, look, I mean, just too much pressure, too much killer instinct from Dustin Poirier to get the finish here.
Why'd that stick in your head?
Just because, and another thing is, when I talked to him about this fight, Dustin Poirier said that as he was hitting Bobby Green was going down, going, you hit like a, as he's going down, saying, you hit like a.
Bobby Green talking some crap how he's getting knocked out. Well, one of the moments that lives rent-free in my mind, it's a recent one, and it's their last fight, and it's really a specific moment. I mean, that whole fight obviously was very different from the beginning. It was a completely different tenor, but round one, Conor was doing some good, but we saw those calf kicks start to play, a big role, especially at the very end of round one. And then immediately in round two, Dustin went to the well. I mean, he started doing that, I think, 7, 8 times in round two. But there's a specific moment at the end there where you see Conor McGregor take the last calf kick and he buckles. You see him off balance and you see his knee do this. And I remember thinking, this fight's not gonna last.
Yeah, there's
And
always
it's
that
just
moment,
seconds
right?
later. And it was just this, and it's like seared in my brain watching his leg wobble and watching him be so off balance. You never see Conor off balance. And I remember thinking, man, this is the end of the fight. And seconds later, another visual we never see, Conor getting knocked out.
Well, speaking of him never being off balance, I remember there was a time when nobody wanted Conor McGregor to be good. Everybody wanted, all the fighters was just hearing this loudmouth from Ireland. And I remember because I was with Cole Miller in Europe when he called out Conor McGregor. And I had to go back and watch some film of this kid. And I said, oh my God, look at the work that this guy does. And I know the guy he's fighting here, Ivan Buchinger, and he slipped that punch and came back with that left hand. And I said, everybody's got this guy wrong. They think he's just a loudmouth, but this guy can really fight, and you got to be careful. They had him wrong, and he proved everybody wrong.
Look at him without the tattoos. It's so crazy
Such
to see Conor without the
young Conor McGregor.
Will you put that robe on? I feel so weird that I'm wearing a robe and you're not.
I'm gonna wear it the wrong way.
We're having a fireside chat.
I didn't know what the I'm sorry.
Well, and speaking of moments that stick in your brain, the moment that really stuck in my brain for Conor McGregor was a moment I think we've never really seen from him before. I don't want to ruin it by trying to describe it, so let's listen.
I wanted to read you a quote from 2013 that you said. It's really poignant, and I think it deserves to be read out in full, so just bear with me. I've lost my mind on this game, like Vincent van Gogh, dedicated his life to his art, and he lost his mind in the process. That's happened to me, but it. When that gold belt is around my waist, and my mother has a big mansion, my girlfriend has a car for every day of the week, and my kids' get everything they ever wanted, then it will pay. Then I'll be happy I lost my mind. Can you just reflect and talk to me about how that makes you feel hearing that in 2021?
It's been some ride. I've got it done, and I'm up here, mad as a brush. You know what I mean? I've been through it all, my friend. I appreciate that, and it's been a wild ride for me. It's not been easy at times, but what a life. And I tell you what, I wouldn't want it to be any other way. I'm very excited to be back here. I'm very excited to have fans back in the area. I'm very excited with the competition, the multiple competition. Yeah. I just feel invigorated, you know what I mean? And as you said, about artistry and all, and Vinnie Van Gogh, I'm gonna paint a beautiful picture here inside this octagon on Saturday night, and I'm very excited to do so.
It's so crazy seeing him get emotional.
I know. I mean, that was a very real moment. Like, we've seen Conor have all these different type of emotions, but that might have been the first time I've seen him give a real emotion, or I can say that's a genuine, authentic emotion.
I feel like it's one of the first times that we've ever seen Conor reveal that side of it, and he was trying so hard not to.
Yeah.
You could see him kind of trying to smile and like clench his teeth, like, oh, I can't do this. But when he starts talking, you hear that catch in his throat.
Yeah.
You know that it means something to him, that his girlfriend does have, a car for every different day of the week. His mom does have a mansion. He has accomplished everything he set out to do back when he was a plumber living on government assistance. And to see that side of Conor, I just think, I don't know, it made me a little bit more of a fan of like who Conor probably is behind closed doors as a real person.
Well, one thing I think that, like, as they were going through it, like, you could see like those memories in his head. Like, you could see him reliving those memories, going, man, I really, and he was so proud. You could tell he was so proud of his accomplishment.
Yeah, it was just an incredible moment. DC, at some point, would you like to do some work here?
I mean, I would try if you guys would let me. But listen, when you're doing the work that you guys are doing, fantastic. I'll listen all day. Oh. That was awesome. Guys, rivalries. There's nothing like them. We can go all the way back to the Lakers versus Celtics in the 80s playing basketball, to the Bulls when they were on their championship run, having to go through the Pistons. Rivalries are what makes sports great. And in mixed martial arts, or in fighting in general, nothing matches up. So I had the pleasure to voice this essay about rivalries, as I have been in a few in my career. And I want you guys to take a listen. Nothing matches a rivalry. We get a great trilogy tomorrow night, but let's take a look at some of the ones that have come before it. It's been said that insecurity is at the heart of every rivalry. And in fighting, deep down, there's truth in that.
Was it always gonna be like this? Was there always venom waiting on our lips?
And even though there are families and coaches and camps, a fight isn't between teams. It's purely between one fighter and another. It's one fighter's will versus the other.
Did we wake up the sleeping giant?
And the more you see of an opponent, the more personal it becomes. The deeper the engagement,
I don't give a either.
the deeper the psychology.
He makes gun signs with the right hand and animal balloons with the left hand.
The more a fighter digs in, the deeper the bad blood grows between them. Nothing in sports quite rivals a trilogy in fighting. The best trilogies are like epic miniseries with twists and turns and deeper emotional investments. There's a first encounter, which usually goes one way. Then a second, that'll generally swing in the other direction.
Exacts his revenge!
And to resolve that tie, the rubber match is needed. A third fight, there are no more sequels. Rivals are out to ruin each other, and everybody knows it. Who can forget about Ali versus Frazier, or Sugar Ray versus Duran? Heck, even Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward had one of the greatest trilogies of all time. And legends are born through the heat of these rivalries. Randy and Chuck, they were among the early UFC icons because early it was Randy, and then Chuck came on late.
And he goes down, it's down, and Chuck Liddell, he is out!
The thing about rivalries is that they link fighters who don't like each other together forever. Enemies forced to share an emotional expanse. In an extended battle with escalating stakes. Now, to lose a fight, that's one thing. But to lose a series becomes a war story. Rivalries are brimming with hatred, but they're intimate too. A shared bond. Sometimes rivalries start out quietly, but then you see the size of a champion's heart in a defining moment. To the point that you're not certain that he can ever do it again until he does.
He is a better fighter than when we last saw him.
To beat your rival is sometimes sweeter than winning any title. It means everything to be better than the bane of your existence. After all that time with that same person in your crosshairs, where just hearing their name can make your skin crawl. To be able to shut them up, hold the upper hand, and to have that over them forever. That can be priceless. Yet there's a respect too. In the end, perhaps there's nothing more than respect. There's another man who made you mortal. They take your invincibility.
Dustin Poirier has knocked out Conor McGregor!
Rivalries are born in the deep water that two competitors take each other in. And it's in that deep water that we learn the contents of a fighter's heart. One needs the other to reach it. There is something about being pushed to the brink and then pushing your rival to the brink. As long as there are competitors, there will be rivalries. And within those rivalries, we get to see everything that is great about fighting.
Man, I cannot wait. The final chapter of the trilogy coming up on Saturday. That first fight back in 2014, UFC 178, it was Diego Brandao that was Conor's fight right before, and then he comes to Vegas, and it's his first time, here for a fight of that magnitude. Poirier was, I believe, the sixth-ranked contender at the time. And the interesting thing to me was, you remember Conor landed a couple of kicks early. So he was able to work at that range. And I'm wondering if he tries to go back to that, Dean, this time around. He takes something from that first one.
Well, I think so. I mean, the very first strike he threw was like a wheel kick.
Right.
And then he was bouncing in and out. And, I think he needs to get back to that and be a little bit more loose and not so hand heavy.
Both of these guys are different fighters at lightweight, though. Both of them are. And I think, like you say, Dean, we are going to see Conor go back to that more bladed stance, that bounce, throwing a lot more kicks, keeping that distance, keeping it out of the boxing range of Dustin Poirier, which is where, man, he does such good work.
I think fighting mimics life, right? And at the time, Conor McGregor was wild. He was a wild child, right? No children. There was nothing conservative about his approach. First strike, wheel kick. Second strike, spinning back kick. Now you fast forward 6 years, 7 years, got a father, husband, everything else, and he's more traditional. He goes out there, didn't throw any of that stuff, right? Before, you never knew what was coming. Last time, he was just another fighter. If you're going to fight Dustin Poirier in the way that he's seen everybody else fight, it's a problem. So you got to be different. In that piece, I said something about sometimes rivalries start off like very slow. We never would have thought when Conor knocked Dustin out in a minute that we would be here today in a third fight, in a fight that's being called the biggest pay-per-view of the year. This one has really built itself to be what it is right now, a massive event.
Well, it's a snap of the fingers compared to the last time. You had to wait 7 years to see those two fight again at UFC 257, on Fight Island, a very different setting. And as we discovered today, that's a setting that Dustin actually likes a lot better than the one that we're going to see here at T-Mobile Arena on Saturday.
Well,
he likes that.
The crowds are so pro McGregor, right? Like, they love it. And when you went to the second fight, right, you see Conor land the big left. You see him throw the combination here. Dustin lands a leg kick. See, Dustin landed leg kicks in the first fight.
He did.
He was kicking up at the thigh. Now he's brought it down lower. And once he got McGregor hurt, this dude has a warrior spirit like no one else, right? So for him to hurt McGregor in the way that he did and then finish him in the way that he did, it shows you how good Dustin Poirier is. Also, tip a hat to my guy, Max Holloway, for surviving after being hurt so many times against a tough guy like Dustin Poirier, because people don't survive when Dustin Poirier gets you hurt.
They don't, and you listen to John Kavanagh talk about the preparation for that second fight, and he admits they were very focused on boxing. They were thinking about Manny Pacquiao. They were thinking about completely different things, and he kept those boxing coaches. He was trying to implement that into his game, and you see that. He's so heavy on the lead leg. He's leaning forward. Unlike we've seen him fight ever before, like you said, DC, he became another guy that you could potentially emulate in training. He's got to go back to being unpredictable, being Conor, having that swag, keeping that distance, landing the kicks, and then allowing the left hand to just find itself.
Yeah, but they had a very different path within that 7 years. In that 7 years, Dustin Poirier went on and beat Gaethje, Holloway, Alvarez, Hooker. Conor McGregor got rich.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor got rich.
Like you say, he called himself the fat cat.
Yeah.
Look, hey, Dean, even going into the last fight, when the odds were in McGregor's favor, everybody's like, wait a minute. Anybody in the know was like, wait a minute. This guy's been here.
Yeah.
In that 7 years, we have seen what Dustin Poirier's become, right? We've seen Conor do some tremendous things, but it was sporadic.
Yeah.
Whereas you saw Dustin in wars, you saw him go. You saw him up and down, and that's why that man in the arena touches him so deeply, right? Because he's had to pull himself up out of bootstraps so many times, but only in the octagon, right? His failures were for us to witness, no one else. And I was like, nobody understood why Conor was the favorite. And I think now Conor McGregor respects Dustin much more. But Dustin became a champ in that time away, as you said.
He became a champ. I mean, he's beaten so many good fighters. And Conor, let's face it, he got rich. Dustin got good. He got rich.
But the Eddie Alvarez fight, I genuinely think that Conor is chasing that dragon. He talked about it, in some of his interviews in the lead up to this fight. He wants to paint an even better masterpiece than he did against Eddie Alvarez. I think that means something to him, and I think that's what he's going to try to go out there and do.
You talk about that fat cat quote from Conor. He said, fat cats can be dangerous too.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, listen, he still feels like he has something to prove, and that's what you have to love about Conor McGregor. And finally, Greg Hardy.
Cut some weight.
Coming away.
Yeah, he gets pretty heavy. I trained Greg for 3 years at American Top Team, and I think the issue was he had too many people he was listening to. He's one of the best athletes I've ever seen. He can do amazing things, but he just had too many voices telling him what to do. Now he's full-time with Rashad Evans, and they're working. And when I sat down with Greg, he said, listen, I don't want this to be an easy road for me.
264 and a
Is he
half,
not
the
at
official
ATT
weight
no
for
more?
No.
Greg
Oh,
Hardy.
wow. So he's just training with Rashad.
Training with
Nice.
Rashad, one-on-one with Rashad.
Smart.
And a small team. And he said, I want to do this the right way. I don't want to be a fad. I want to get out there and do this the right way. He doesn't care about the losses. He wants to be treated with respect as an MMA fighter.
He cut some weight, though.
Yeah,
Look
he
at that.
has,
They're
he has
happy.
to cut some. He has to cut some weight.
The man
He
was
does
eating
have to cut some
olives
weight.
and pickles and a couple of slices of lemons about a week ago.
Heavyweight.
Yes.
Let's take a look at the results from the weigh-in on the early prelims. And good news is everybody making weight so far.
Everybody being professional.
Except for
throwing weight.
Rivera, correct. So we have, 2 left to go now.
Yeah, waiting for Rivera, which is.
What about?
Remember, he's going to 125.
What about Aldana?
Aldana's was later in the fight card. She's so heavy. She's like 4 pounds overweight
Yeah,
still.
I think it might be too much. All right, here's the ESPN late prelims here. Michelle Pereira is in the building, but the only one on the early prelims who has not waited. And the main card, we have the main event locked in, co-main locked in. We are locked in all the way through. First fight of the night, of course, going to be the Sugar Show, taking on Chris Matino, who is taking this fight on short notice.
That's a wild ride. That is a wild ride.
And here is Jerome Rivera, walking the scale right now, DC.
Yeah, big kid going down to 125, said that the only reason he's been fighting up is because he hasn't had time. Said he feels great, knows he can make the weight, took some time. Looks like that scale's bouncing up and down, so it seems like he's at the weight.
125 and a half.
125 and a half. Jerome big
Rivera.
kid for
5'10",
125.
right?
Yeah,
He's
very
5'10"
tall.
as a flyweight?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, very tall at 125. And finally, he says that we will see who Jerome Rivera really is.
A Contender Series alum from 2020, getting ready for his 3rd UFC fight. We are getting ready for UFC 264. Poirier versus McGregor 3 tomorrow at T-Mobile Arena. And later today at 7 p.m. Eastern, it will be the ceremonial weigh-ins. Our last chance to see these guys before fight night on Saturday. And we know the one everybody wants to see, our 5-round main event, Dustin Poirier and the notorious Conor McGregor.
When they locked the octagon door, Conor's in here with a focused, determined man, willing to leave it all on the line. We're 1-1. First fight went his way, second fight went my way, and tonight we seal the trilogy.
Oh, that leg's beat up, man. Oh, big left and now right. Hurt, man. Dustin Poirier. Oh, knocked down Poirier. Dustin Poirier has knocked down Conor McGregor. Oh, my goodness. Lafayette, Louisiana.
Dustin is in for an ass whooping. This trilogy is going to end in a vicious way. I'm going to knock my opponent out clean.
Ooh, good left hand. Oh, he hurt him. Looking to finish the fight. It is all over. Just like that.
Tonight's fight is about proving that I'm the best in the world, showing growth through my career. It's about my family. I'm confident in my skill and ability. I feel like I'm going to go out there, put on an incredible show, and beat Conor McGregor again.
When that octagon door locks, my opponent goes to sleep. This is another day for me, getting in and whooping a man, and that's it. I'm excited to be back, and I look forward to getting that KO victory back.
On ESPN tomorrow, Michelle Pereira.
Michelle Pereira, our last fighter weighing in, stepping to the scale right now, DC.
Big guy, Michelle Pereira. This is a guy that, for a long time, was too crazy and too fun. But as he has reeled it in, he's dialed it back. He's turned the volume down, as they say in the business. He's turned the volume down.
170 and a half,
and
the
now
official weight for
he's really
Michelle
dangerous. And I'm
Pereira.
telling you, if he continues down this path, he's a problem for everybody because he's massive for the weight. And his athleticism is unmatched.
Yeah, he's got some power, too. Like, when he lands on people, it's some serious power.
The man's got some jumps, too. He's got some mad jumps.
Speaking of power, this man has some power here sitting with us. Max Holloway, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, boss. How you guys doing?
I saw you on a skateboard yesterday, just kind of skating around downtown Vegas. It was 111 degrees. Was that yesterday or a couple of days ago?
It was yesterday. It was good fun. You know, I had to go remind everybody who the best boxer in the UFC was before the press conference. So.
On a skateboard?
On a skateboard, yeah. He just came strolling through, you know?
Well, let's get your expert opinion on the main event tomorrow. You fought both of these guys. How do you see this one going down?
You know, the one thing I hear you guys everyone talking about is the leg kicks. You know, the leg kicks in the first fight, but nobody talks about the takedown, you know? Conor's takedown defense against Khabib was much better than when it was against
Dustin, yes.
Dustin. So at the end of the day, that thing that he's talking about, Dustin's talking about with Conor, I think so it's takedowns. And if he takes down Conor, then we might be in a world of surprise again.
Your last fight against Calvin Kattar, man, that was so fun to watch. You were just putting on a show, living in the moment, talking to the commentary team. I mean, the whole thing was awesome. You were supposed to fight next week against Yair Rodriguez. You had to pull out because of an injury.
Yeah.
Are you feeling okay? And what's the next step here for you?
Yeah, you know, with the injury, every commission, you know, you got to go and take a test for them and take a physical. And when I did the physical, they found I had a sprain. So we're doing PT right now, so we'll be back sooner than later. And I can't wait to get back in there. You know, I'm missing it.
You know, fun guy, you know, good friend of mine. But honestly, I was kind of put off by him talking to us in the fight. Like, could we not talk about it? He's like, I was put off. I mean, this guy's in the fight. I thought it was arrogant. I thought, no, I'm just, I mean, I called it, I thought it was arrogant. I thought he was cocky. And I mean, carry yourself with some respect, Holloway. I mean, you don't call, you don't text. I've been waiting for days now. You got here a couple days ago. You don't call, you don't text. But I mean, this is my guy right here. This dude threw 1,000 punches in one fight.
Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, in that fight, you know, at the Kattar, I heard this guy's voice. When I heard that, he was talking, he was saying, like, Holloway is counting it up, whatever.
Well, he's so damn loud,
yeah,
Max.
he's so loud, you know, we didn't have too much fans, too, there, so I could hear him, so blame your damn self.
Hey, Money Max, let me ask you a question. Yair Rodriguez, are you hoping that this fight gets rescheduled, or do you want to do something different?
We see what happens, you know, we see what happens. Anything can happen, you know. I bet you a lot of you guys didn't know, they had me as a replacement for this main event. No one knows this. Yeah, they had me as a replacement. I was going to come out earlier, make weight, and see what happens, you know. So at the end of the day, UFC, they love throwing curveballs. You know, one day you're fighting this guy, next day you're fighting someone else, you know. And talking about that, you know, the daddest man on the planet, you know, DC's ducking me.
Relax.
You should fight me. Come out of the time, get the biggest fight.
No, I don't want the fight. I'm over that. When you fought Dustin, right? We saw you get hurt a couple times. Mm-hmm. You were able to navigate that. Mm-hmm. McGregor didn't seem to handle that very well. In his approach, what do you think led to Dustin Poirier being able to touch him in the way that he did? Because that check right hook landed over and over, and Conor didn't seem to pick it up.
You know, at the end of the day, I think so that leg kicks had it. The takedown, too, was in the back of his mind. And the leg kicks, you know, you said it before, the leg kicks hurt. They hurt a lot, you know. Yeah. So we see what happens, you know, and then Conor saying that he was getting ready for a Manny Pacquiao fight, you know, front heavy, you know. We got to see Karate Kid Conor back. That's the guy I want to see.
What makes that punch, though? What makes that right hooks, that right hand so effective from Poirier, right? Because we see him land it a lot.
Yeah. Like, I think he's right-handed.
It seems kind of slow, too. Yeah. It actually seems slow.
Well, it's delayed. He throws kind of a delayed punch, and he's right-handed.
It's exactly what Dean said. It's an off-timing punch. Like, you see it. A bunch of times when he hit me with it, I saw it. It just slower than I thought, and then it connected. I was like, oh, shit. Like, it hit me, you know?
So this fight is obviously an important fight, and you seem to be a bigger guy. Like, I don't know how you make 145, but how interested would you be in fighting the winner of this, or one of these guys again?
You know, we're going off of Conor's logic, you know? If we're going off of Conor's logic, only knockouts count as wins and losses. They both knocked out each other.
Yeah.
I fought both of them. They didn't even knock me down. So I'm the best boxer in the UFC. They can come see me.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, no, I think that's. I saw you say that when they were talking about who's the best boxer. What did you say? I'm here, bro. Sup, bro.
I said, sup, boy. You rang? Yeah, I know. Somebody talking about me. I gotta get in the conversation. You know.
The hands in the last fight against Calvin Kattar were fantastic. Your timing. This no sparring thing is still the biggest myth in all of mixed martial arts. Trust me, this guy's sparring a lot.
I'm not.
But Max, can I say something, Max? Not only are you a fantastic fighter, we're a great friend until recently when you don't call, you don't text.
Yeah.
But what you also try to be is a great gamer.
Oh, yeah?
And for years, I've been trying to get you on the sticks.
please.
I've been trying to get you on the sticks, Holloway.
We have a video of me smashing him in Madden's. Please pull up the video.
I've been trying to get you on the sticks.
I don't know if you have a video, but we're going to have this video.
Would you take a walk with me, Holloway?
You know my guy's OP, right?
Go get him.
You know my guy's
Max,
OP.
if you
I'm
take
playing
this
with
you,
Max
have it, you're
Holloway.
I'll grab it after.
I get Max Holloway.
You get Max.
That's
I'm Max Holloway.
Wait, are you?
This is crazy.
That's the beauty in it being my show. I get to choose the fighter. Well, wait. Is the controller on?
No, my controller wasn't on.
Okay, so wait, dude, you're pressing all kinds of buttons.
I got to log in.
Guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is always the hardest part.
It's dying. The controller's dying. My controller died.
My controller's dead. Your controller
Guess
is.
they'll have to fight for real, guys.
Yeah,
I'm not
All
fighting.
right.
Does anybody have a plug?
Yeah. Or do you have another
getting
controller?
Live TV.
Okay,
Yep,
let's
things
go over
happen.
here.
Let's plug in these controllers.
Let's plug in these controllers.
Hey,
We got
this
people
one,
a little far
mine's
away.
is dead.
Yours is dead.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Always.
Yep.
You stand back here while we play. You ready?
Wait. You got to pick. Go. Select you in.
No.
DC, you gotta be next to him.
Get in the shot.
Like, learn about
Come
camera
on.
angles, man. You've been in this business long enough.
Max, can I stand in front of the TV?
Where am I? All right, there.
Wait,
Are you going red or blue? Yeah, you should
I'm
go
going blue. I'm gonna go blue.
Okay, you want me to be myself or you gonna be
No,
somebody
I'm
else?
gonna play Max with Max Holloway. All you gotta do is press the button. You know how to do this.
Oh man. Who are you gonna be? Who you guys want me to be?
You gotta play with Calvin Cater. No, you have to. No, press. No, press. Yeah, you gotta play with Calvin Cater. All right.
This guy is ridiculous.
What do you mean, dog? I mean, let's go. Let's go.
You know I'm in a lose-lose situation. If I kick his ass, then I beat his ass with Coven.
Yes,
and if I lose, then I lose to myself.
Hey,
you know?
hey, listen. As he makes his way to the octagon, it's the proud Hawaiian, Max Holloway, wearing his universal colors. Press X, Max.
I'm pressing X. I'm trying to.
Right,
I'm trying to give you this whooping faster, too. Don't get
You good in this?
We're about to find out, right?
Let's do this thing.
All right, so lofty expectations.
I like to move on the side.
This is the...
Back up,
Okay.
Back up, boy. Back up, boy. Back up, boy.
This is actually the first event in the Daddest Man Olympics that we're about to play, Max. So I need you to win the first event. It's like the half decathlon.
Wait, no, DC is Holloway? Is that right?
Yes. So it's weird.
This is so confusing.
DC's fighting with Max because he has a distinct advantage. And that's what he does. He does it on the golf course. He does it in life.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! With the one-shot kill!
Somebody needs to nerf him! That guy can't even do that right! He can't do that right!
DC beats Max Holloway with Max Holloway.
Let's go!
Oh, man.
Oh, my
The crowd is on their feet. Oh, they're loving Cormier. And,
Oh, my God.
You know what? You come here in your fancy pants, and you come over here all dressed up.
All right.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
let's go!
All right,
This is terrible.
Max,
Let's go!
come back up to the desk.
Oh, wow.
We're having the Daddest Man on the planet Olympics. That was the first event, so you're down 1-1. Okay?
Let's go.
DC's up 1-0. As the second event of the Olympics is you're making chocolate milk. Okay? You each have a bottle of milk. You have some chocolate syrup. You got a baby cup.
This is not fair. DC is the size of a cow already.
Oh, really? So you lose and you just start making insults. Okay.
RJ is going to be the taste tester.
Okay.
He will decide who makes the best chocolate milk. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
I want to let him go first. Go ahead.
No, you go first.
No.
You go first.
He
The
wants
winner
to
go
see how
first.
much you put in, then he's
Go
going
ahead.
to
No, the winner go first. The winner go first.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. I just didn't really want him to see because there's a chocolate milk
What are you doing?
hat.
You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
Already.
Just relax.
Yeah, he already lost.
I think you're good.
No, he's not. Max knows what's up.
Swirl technique.
You're
Interesting.
wrong.
Okay.
You put too much
It's adorable.
milk?
Look at him. It's adorable.
Oh my gosh, you're spilling? Are you 5 years old?
Oh yeah.
chunky.
Hey,
It's not good.
I like that dark, thick chocolate milk. Like I'm not trying to give no baby milk.
Yeah.
It's
All right,
look at that
hold on,
brown.
hold on.
That's
Don't-
I like that.
Good color.
I like that. I
Hey,
like
that's
that.
that St. Thomas
My
milk
turn.
right there.
That's what I grew up on.
No, I love it too, but you just did it wrong.
Oh,
You gotta
put
do
it.
the chocolate
Oh, he
first.
puts
He's right.
the chocolate first.
He's right.
That's the
I
technique.
don't think so. No.
And just a little bit of milk.
No, yeah.
Dean, you don't need to build him up. He's confident enough.
I worry about this because I feel like you guys are going to try to cheat me.
Oh.
I really feel like you guys will cheat me.
I don't know why you would say that.
Because you want me to lose.
I don't know.
Because you want me to lose,
Max.
you'll pick Max.
Plug it,
Yeah.
shake it.
No. You're helping him now?
I mean,
Laura,
yeah.
you're helping him now.
Do you see what I have to defend? I'm 100% team
Oh,
Max.
you guys like it chocolate? I like it chocolate.
I'm on the plastic.
Chocolate,
press.
milk, then chocolate.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. I love it.
That might have
Double
Took my insulin today.
man.
Wow.
Hey, look at how jealous DC is now. Now he's trying to adjust. Don't let him have that chocolate back.
He's double chocolate in that thing. Man.
Yeah, I love chocolate. You love chocolate? I love chocolate, DC.
DC was shaking that.
Hey, man, would you please hurry up?
Oh, we're good.
Nobody wants to see you
delicate. You need
just
to be
circling.
soft.
Nobody wants to just see you
We got
doing
time.
chocolate milk. Here you go, dog. I'll give you some napkin.
There you go.
I got the purple cup. RJ, whenever you're ready, my friend.
Okay, this is the role I was born to have.
That's the Cormier cup.
All right, DC taste test one.
Corbin, that's not gonna touch mine. He might drug it or something.
I mean, that's a quality chocolate.
Nice and warm, just how I like it.
Oh.
Good texture, good color.
It's a good quality.
All right, that's
chocolate.
a damn good cup of chocolate milk. Oh my word.
It's great chocolate milk?
Did you put Kahlua in this? This is the best damn cup of chocolate milk I've ever had.
Wait a minute. Is it great chocolate milk?
It's phenomenal. I'd give you some, but I want the rest of
I
it.
think the fix is in.
There's tears
I
to
think
this.
the fix is in.
The chocolate milk, chocolate milk.
No, there's tears to this. No, there's tears to this.
Yeah.
Daniel, you're A tier, and then there's the thing called
Winner.
S tier.
What?
Yeah, this is an S tier man you're looking at.
Hey,
So
bro, I
thank
think
you.
the fix is in.
We are officially at 1-1 in
There's
this
some bias here.
daddest man on the planet Olympics. Okay, guys, are you ready for the third
Well, the
competition?
trilogy is our trilogy now, right?
Okay, yes, but
what
we're going to
Friday
go
Night
even
for.
further than a trilogy. All right, you
yeah.
guys go over to that table right there.
yeah.
You guys are
Yeah.
going to change a
Come on.
diaper.
Oh gosh.
You're going to put the diaper on and then put the outfit on the baby. Okay?
His baby's outfitted already.
My baby's got clothes on. What are you guys doing?
The fastest
This
one
is-
wins.
this
Hey, you
is
got to
a-
take the clothes off, RJ.
This is the Hawaii baby,
No,
baby.
I'm taking the clothes off.
It's so hot in Hawaii. It's hot right now.
So it's the diaper and then the outfit. Does DC have another outfit? Okay. RJ's coming. There it is, DC.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, onesies. Let's go.
Okay, so you have to do all the buttons.
Is
guys.
this a race?
Yeah, it's a race. I'll tell you when to go.
Okay.
Don't cheat. Don't let him cheat, Max.
He's cheating already.
Okay. So
All right.
it's diaper and then outfit.
DC, don't let us down, brother.
Okay. All right. Senko, you'll be the official starter as a mother.
As a mom, we know
done this
who
plenty of
generally
times, as we all
changes the
have.
diapers in the households. All right, in 3, 2, 1, go.
He touched his stuff. He should
He
get
did. Max, I'm
disqualified.
telling you, this show is just full of him cheating. Stay focused. I gotta get the leg apart. Get
Yep.
the leg apart.
You don't want to hurt
No,
the
you
baby.
can't
though.
help him.
This is plastic. He's like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, DC.
I'm
Look
failing.
at DC go.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, look at DC go.
Oh,
No, Laura.
no. DC takes
She's helping.
They're cheating, man.
second
You
on.
grabbed the 2 seconds.
This is called co-parenting, okay?
Oh my
I got
goodness.
this arm. I got this arm.
You gotta do.
Oh my
Forget the
goodness.
buttons, DC. Don't forget the buttons.
I got you, bro. I got you.
Also, you go, 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 go.
Every single button, DC.
I mean,
Fully
I-
snapped.
Oh my
Listen to the
goodness.
sound
Like, what is
effect.
happening?
That's great.
This is crazy.
Got to bridge back some memories. Not all good.
Get the hands out. Get the hands out.
DC's
Oh, my-
struggling with the buttons a little.
Okay, we're done.
Okay, we're done.
That's it?
I mean, you're done.
All right.
He's done.
Max is done. First one in.
All right, you gotta hold
You
the
ain't got
neck.
the legs in.
Nope. Hey, look at him supporting the
My-
neck.
Well,
wow,
DC
you're talking
doesn't
about
have
my
a leg.
baby's legs? That
That's
unreal. It's a
That's a
short
Max
leg.
win.
I win this one.
You won?
Yeah.
Yeah, he won. How did
So
you
you
not
guys
see-
gonna give him? You guys gonna give him that whatever with Laura helping him,
It's
actually helping him?
It was co-parenting.
Yeah. You should have called Dean in here.
Team
You
effort.
know,
Hey,
This is
but
so
this
crazy.
child is
Listen,
raised in
man.
an intact, loving home.
You made us proud.
All right, guys. I want you. Hey, Max, don't sit down. I want you guys to roll over here. You know, when you're growing up, you get into a fight at school, and DC, I think I want to stand a little more over in the light.
Well, I'm a little disappointed.
So,
He's like,
RJ is going to be
They've got
the
it.
child who gets into a fight at school.
Yeah, okay.
And you are going to have to give him the parent talk about how that's not good.
Okay, he can go first.
No, you go first.
DC go first.
No, I'm not going
Who votes for DC go
I'll
first?
tell you my
I'm
list.
going second.
DC goes first. I make the executive
Oh,
decision.
come on, dude. No, it's not. It's
Did I
not
win?
right. You guys have to have him go first.
Hey, how about you just play the game the right way?
Yeah.
Just get a first-round knockout and not have to worry about it.
All right, AG, you ready? RJ.
Yes, Dad.
You can't get into trouble at school. We pay a lot of money for your school. You can't put your hands on anybody else. Now, I will never tell you not to defend yourself. Did he hit you first? Did he smack you? Because you have to take and make sure that you have the confidence to stand up for yourself. The reality is we live in a world where you cannot bully. You can't bully, son. I'm proud of you for standing up for yourself. But next time, go tell a teacher. Go talk to the principal. Right? They'll take care. They're there to protect you. Now, I love you. And I'm proud of you for being who you are. Okay? Thank you, son.
That changed my life.
Yo, that was beautiful.
That was well
That
said.
I like that.
That might be a walk-off.
I don't feel like that's actually how you parent, though. I've heard you on the phone. I've heard you on the phone.
I just want to be adopted by DC now.
I know.
That was amazing.
Let's see what
All right.
Daddy number 2 can do.
RJ,
Yes, Dad.
what happened? Tell me what happened. Did he hit you first, or did you start the fight?
He was talking trash about you, Dad.
Oh,
and I
yeah?
had to defend your honor.
Oh, yeah? Does he look worse than you?
Yes.
Good job.
Oh, come on.
We had to
All
go
right.
the whole
And
other
you guys
way.
are voting.
We had to
on
go
your,
the whole
on
other
your,
way.
You guys
We had to
vote.
go
What do you
the
think
I
of that?
like what you did. You had to take the
We had
polar
to go the
opposite
whole other
approach.
way.
Okay.
That was
DC
good.
smashed it, so we had to
Write
go the other way.
down who you think won. We'll start with Laura when she's ready.
Okay.
All right, let's get a single on Laura.
Okay, listen, here's
Laura?
the deal, okay? We know what's up here, okay? That,
Max Holloway.
That was realistic parenting. That was realistic parenting, okay? You don't want your kid to get picked on. If the
not at
other
all.
guy started the fight, finish the fight.
Yeah.
Finish the fight.
All right, Dan, your turn. Who won?
It pains me to do this, Max. I apologize. But it
Oh,
was a great acting job.
Hey,
it was a great acting job.
It was hard.
It really was. It was fun.
All right, the tiebreaker for Dad Olympics. On Dean, we got to go to a 5th game sudden death. Dean Thomas.
Dean, do the
Who's
right,
the baddest
do the right
father?
Let's go! We back in the game.
It's 2-2.
I see a little favoritism now.
God.
He gave us that Carl Winslow.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good.
All right, one more game. We got a tiebreaker.
I couldn't match it. That was good.
All right, guys.
Bring your whiteboards. Bring the whiteboards and the marker.
Bring the marker.
You gotta do
Whiteboard.
We're going to the warehouse.
Going
Let's go.
outside.
Tiebreaker. Let's go, everybody.
My belt is
All right, here we go.
You're defending my belt.
Where are we going at?
We're going to the warehouse.
Going
Let's go.
outside.
Max, everybody, we'll tell you what we're doing. We're going to the warehouse. Bring your whiteboards. Bring your marker. We got a tiebreaker.
Oh,
All right, so
this is so stressful.
this is a lot about teaching.
Laura, you'll be standing
in the
like
show,
behind that other
as
line,
we've
facing this way.
discussed,
Dean,
right?
Laura, over here.
This is going to be about
Facing this
teaching
way.
your son
Dean, over
to
here.
ride a bike.
Thank you.
And RJ, who's helping the clipboard, it's going to be, he plays the kid last time. This time it's going to be Dean, who is the child learning how to ride a bike. And DC and Max are going to give Dean bike riding lessons.
Oh, this is great.
Safety
So
first.
there are no training wheels here. Yes, thank God we have a helmet. This
The
is a
training
very
wheels
hard
are awesome.
cement
over here.
floor.
Follow me. Follow me, dads and son.
So, DC, last time we made you go first. Would you rather go second this time
I'll
around?
go
or would
second
you-
this time.
Okay,
I'll go second this time. I will definitely go second.
Okay. Max Holloway
Okay.
teaching his son, one Dean Thomas,
Look at you.
how to ride a bike.
Hi, Deanie. Look.
Has the helmet on, looking good.
This is the front one. You don't touch the left one. You just touch the right one. The right one is back brake. Does this? We don't have the brake when you go backwards, so make sure when you're going backwards, you need to brake with your right hand. This is a stand. We're gonna get you on this bad boy. You get up. You want to hold it?
Oh, that's
Yep.
Like this?
Right. Yep. Right leg
so
over. I can hold you if you need help.
I need help.
So put left. Get your left foot on and let's snap. What? Let's go. There you go.
Does Dean really not know how to ride a bike?
There you go, boy. Paddle.
Max, let him go.
There you go.
Let him
There we go. Okay, break. Oh my God. Okay, put down.
Oh my gosh.
Good job. Okay, we need to get some tricycles back.
That was very well done.
All right, back at the end. Over here, guys.
You walk, my boy.
Back
This
over
is
here.
the final event in
Final
the
one.
daddest man on the planet.
Son.
Great job by
You have to
Max
have
teaching
confidence.
Dean how to ride the bike.
Confidence, is that key?
Now it's
Confidence
DC's
is
turn.
key in this.
Trying to pump
You gotta understand that the bike is not bigger than you.
Okay.
Right? The bike isn't bigger than you. It's
Oh
only
my
mental.
gosh.
It's only mental. That's why you're having troubles with this. So step up on this. Right? Step up on the bike. Hold on, Dean. Take your time, son. I want you to take that side that's up, right? You see the side that's up? Put your foot on it.
Okay.
When I start to push you, I need you to press down, and then you get your left foot on.
Okay.
And then we're working. You ready, son? Hey, no matter how this goes,
I gotta get the...
I'm proud of you.
I love you, Dad.
I love you, Dean. All right, ready? Let's go.
Some bullshit.
That's my boy. Good job, son. You got it.
Go!
He don't know how to brake. He doesn't know how to brake.
You got it. Hit the brakes, son.
DC didn't tell him how to brake. DC didn't tell him.
I'm so proud of you. Oh, my boy. I love my boy. What a goal.
DC didn't even tell him how to brake.
I told you you could
How
do
does
that.
he know how to brake?
That kid would have died.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so
He would
proud
have
of you.
died straight into
See,
the...
Check his helmet.
Hey, listen. I got my kid to ride the bike. Did you see that? That's what being a coach does. Kid.
No, you got your kid to ride the bike. I made bonding. I carried my kid on the bike.
Good job, kid. Good job.
So now it's time to vote, DC.
Yes.
This is
Seems like a
the
no-brainer.
daddest man on the planet. Clearly,
All those shirts.
Dean had an easier time riding with DC. I think it might have been a setup.
No, the fathering was the encouragement.
Was better?
I had more encouragement with DC. Yeah.
Well, he didn't tell you how to brake. How did you just all of a sudden learn how to brake? Huh? Where was that encouragement?
I didn't know. I just
encouraging.
It was the confidence he instilled in me. He instilled a bunch of confidence in me.
This is the tiebreaker in the daddest man on the planet Olympics. The three of us, RJ, Laura, Dan, must vote. We will decide. It is 2-2 who wins. RJ?
I'll go first.
You go first.
I gotta say, I have never seen Dean Thomas this happy. On that bike, it was pure joy. And that's so important in fathering. Happiest I've ever seen Dean Thomas.
Listen. I stand for truth. I stand for justice. I stand for integrity on this show. And that was clearly a setup.
Oh,
he sent his child into traffic. There could have been a car. He didn't know how to brake. That child died in reality. I am feeling blessed.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no.
This is crazy. This is a setup, man.
RJ.
I don't care.
You guys ready for the tiebreaker?
You was a setup. That kid, there was a setup. The kid with me was 5 years old. Dean Thomas is 10 with you. It's a cheat. That was a
Who
setup.
do you want to give Max the shoes?
We have not told you yet, but there is a prize for this. And I think it will really kind of embody everything that the daddest man on the planet is. And it is with my pleasure that I announce that Max Holloway was a loving father. And
I teach him
not
how to
a
brake.
cheater, but a fair dad, a fair
Max
fighter,
Holloway would have chosen himself in
and a
UFC
good
4
man.
too.
We present you.
Is it 5-year-old Dean here or the 10?
The 5-year-old here. And we're presenting you with these shoes. I got a bottle of Old Spice back at the hotel I'm gonna hook you up with too. But for now, we need you to put those shoes on.
I'll put it on. I feel like a winner.
Those are the perfect dad
winner.
shoes.
This is the perfect dad shoes for the daddest man on the planet.
Crazy, bro. So this dude won by Laura cheating on the baby changing thing, right? And then they just
It's
stiffed
called
me on
great
this.
co-parenting. What are you talking about?
Yo, you got, I mean, look
Oh,
at
this
those.
is so
I wanted
good.
those bad. Look how they fit.
I feel like a father. You be quiet. You shut your mouth, DC.
Oh, my God.
Blessed, Max Holloway. Hey, good job, dude. Good job.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. I take it real serious, yeah.
So good. Congratulations. You are the daddest man on the planet. You took down the double champ.
That's it. I'm going to call someone.
Hey,
I'm calling someone.
He's telling somebody right
you used
now.
to be a man of integrity. You would not have taken that tainted win. You used to be a man of integrity.
All right, while they sort all this out,
changed.
let's send it to our On the Line crew.
You've changed. You've changed.
Thanks, Dan, here with the UFC On the Line crew ahead of this epic weekend and the end to the trilogy. Conor McGregor opened as a favorite in this matchup, around -120. The Dustin Poirier money has come in. He sits at around -135. Of course, we'll see what the line does leading up to the fight. Yanni, your thoughts, is Conor McGregor plus money here as it sits right now for UFC 264. What do you think?
This is a very difficult fight to try to predict who's going to win. But as a bettor, this is very simple who to wager on. If you're looking for value, look no further. It's Conor McGregor or leave the fight alone. And here's why. They fought not long ago, just 5 months ago. Line opened -175. Me, you, the rest of the betting public bet him up to -300, said he should win 2 out of 3 times. They fought before that. Same thing. He had opened 165, got bet up almost to that same -300. So we have 2 examples of Conor being about a 3-1 favorite over Dustin Poirier. Now, 5 months later, he's an underdog. Again, as a bettor who looks for value, it doesn't get more simpler than this.
I 100% agree. The line is indicating where you bet this fight. If Conor McGregor's at plus money, if obviously he's a small favorite, I think he should have been a small favorite. That's why it opened that way. So all the bettors betting on Dustin Poirier, I think you're losing the value there. So Conor McGregor should be the side, and the line is indicating where you make your wager here.
So you're thinking recency bias on the Dustin Poirier side?
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, people are thinking Conor hasn't taken the sport as serious. Maybe he's not fighting as often. So they're coming in on Poirier. Poirier's looked great. Look at the run he's been on. I mean, it's the best of the best who he's facing, and he's beaten those guys, right? So Dustin Poirier deserves to be that #1 contender right now in the UFC. But make no mistake, people are underestimating how good Conor McGregor really is. His striking is top-notch, an elite-level guy. He already has a win over Dustin Poirier, even if it's years ago at 145. I get it, but you guys are underestimating him, and I think he's going to come through here.
So now the big question is, right, the rest of Friday and on Saturday, the planes are going to be full. There's going to be a lot of traffic coming into Las Vegas, a lot of people coming in to be part of this event, and, of course, worldwide betting everywhere. Where's the money going, do you think?
Early on, it was Dustin Poirier. I'm expecting a ton of money coming in on Conor McGregor in this spot. From sharps, from public. I mean, just imagine this. Not just only the European fans that are coming in, the Irish fans that are going to try to flood in here and support Conor McGregor, but it's all those people. We compare this to the Super Bowl when Conor McGregor fights, right? So all these people just want to get down. They want to have action on a fight. And if Conor McGregor is the name recognition, they're going to just fire away. It doesn't matter what the line is. It doesn't matter the circumstances. They're not even going to basically study or do their homework or research on this. They just want to have action. That's what we see in huge events. I mean, and you can't blame them. It's fun, right? It's always more exciting when your money is on the line and you're watching a sporting event. So that's the path there.
History supports everything Nick just said. With Conor McGregor, forget about it. You got to get out early. He's opened up an average of about -220, closed around a -350 favorite. So in the past, you had to bet Conor earlier. The line definitely moved in his favor.
All right, and we'll see what it sits at when they close the gates on the octagon for the main event. We know what they're on. There's agreement here between our sharps. Conor McGregor is the play if you're going to play it straight. If you want your dollar to go a little further, that's where the props come in. Yanni, where do you look at with props?
I think the value's on the over as far as total rounds go because they set it a little bit too low at 1.5. Yes, both these fighters are outliers, well ahead that lightweight average as far as finishes inside the distance. But with all that said, styles make fights, and more importantly, we know that historically, even though rematches, trilogies tend to end the same way, result-wise, they don't play out the same way. And I think the recency bias is why bookmakers came out with a low 1.5. They got reprimanded for it, up the bet to as high as -200. I think that's the right side. Let's go over 1.5.
I agree with you. I think it does trickle over that 1.5 mark, but I don't think this fight hits the scorecards though. So it's not going to go all the way. There is a lot of firepower here. So I think you have to look at if Conor wins this fight, how does he win the fight? He probably wins by knockout. I doubt he wins it by submission here. If it does hit the scorecards, then we're all wrong, obviously, right? Even though we do lean towards that over 1.5. So I think Conor McGregor at +140, +145, there's extra value there because that's the method of victory. He will probably win this fight. So you take a stab at the extra plus money there.
Of his 22 fights in his career for Conor McGregor, 19 have come by knockout. Meanwhile, on that over-under 1.5 number on the Dustin Poirier side, let's see. He's finished 5 of his last 7 wins. None have come in the first round. So history would prove he drags it later into the fights. If you want more from Yanni and Nick, including their picks on the entire UFC 264 card, tune into UFC On the Line. That's only available on UFC Fight Pass. We'll be enjoying the fights. Dan, we'll send it back to you guys.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. So inside the numbers, Poirier a slight favorite here. It's obviously been adjusting throughout the week, but -135 right now, and Conor at +105.
Yeah, I think that's changed a little bit. I don't remember what the odds were. I haven't been keeping close track of them, but at one point, I believe they were a pick'em. So I know sometimes the line can move with, a lot of money coming in on Conor. Everybody loves to bet on Conor, but This is a fascinating fight. I think I don't know. I think the line has it right.
I'm not sure if the line has it right, but I do know what I do think they have right, and that's the over. I would certainly think that this fight is going to go longer than 1.5 rounds because, I mean, I don't even know why we would even think that it would go less than 1.5 rounds. I mean, Conor hasn't really shown to have that firepower like he used to get guys out that early. Dustin is a lot more durable than I think we're giving him credit for. This fight's going over in 1.5 rounds.
You know, I think that as the fight gets closer, that's when you see a lot of money come in on Conor McGregor, right? The big bets come in towards the end of the week when the fight is about to get announced because those bettors that are smart, the bettors that know, they kind of wait, right, to get the best odds. As those odds kind of change, right, Conor becomes a bigger underdog. That's when they come in and throw the money. You'll see it kind of shift. But in terms of who should be the favorite in terms of the matchup, based on what we've seen, kind of think it is Dustin Poirier.
A slight favorite right now. Conor actually opened as the favorite at -140. So to your point, maybe it could come back there by the time those two actually step into the octagon. Interesting fact here, Conor's lost 5 times in his pro MMA career. He has come back after every loss to avenge that loss with a win. The last time was against Nate Diaz. After he lost, they fought 6 months later.
And I thought in that fight, he really showed who he was, right? Conor McGregor in the Nate Diaz rematch showed you who he can really be when he has to dig deep. Because that 4th round, it looked bad for him. Diaz had all the momentum. He was building. He won those rounds as the fight went long. And in round 5, in a fight that I thought was 2-2, McGregor came out, fought hard, fought smart, won the last round, which ultimately gave him the decision. That's where you saw the heart of Conor McGregor in the Nathan Diaz rematch.
The co-main event also going to be a very good fight. I think it's been overshadowed just because Conor is here for this one. But Gilbert Burns and Stephen Thompson is going to be an excellent fight. 2 contrasting styles as we see both men here ranked inside the top 5. Gilbert, of course, coming off that stoppage loss to Kamaru Usman in UFC 258 for the UFC welterweight title. The Wonder Boy had a rough stretch where he went 1-3-1 in 5 fights, but it really wasn't as bad as you look. He fought the champ Tyron Woodley twice, once to a draw. He beat Jorge Masvidal, lost to Darren Till, a very close fight. These are 2 different, very different styles. Gilbert Burns, though, getting better in all facets of the fight.
He really is, and this is such a fun matchup because it's one of those throwback fights, right? We've got the grappler versus the striker, but the grappler can strike, as you see there. The grappler's got some mad hands. He throws bricks when he gets in there, does Gilbert Burns. And then as a backup, oh, by the way, if the fight goes to the canvas, he is nasty with his submission game. Outside of the octagon, he faced Rafael Lovato Jr., largely considered the best American jiu-jitsu artist, and beat him in a straight jiu-jitsu game.
Man, Stephen Thompson is such a puzzle. I had to try to prepare for this guy twice with Tyron Woodley, and it was so difficult because he is such a tricky fighter. I mean, he judges distance so well. Like, if you take a step forward, he's right back, and then he's right back in your face. And then when you think he's moving away from you, he can blitz you. He can do spinning kicks. He got such a wide variety of attack offensively. He's very difficult to deal with. He's very hard to take down as well. So he's such a puzzle, man. It's going to be hard for Gilbert Burns to deal with that.
I love both of these guys, but I also love the stakes of the matchup, right? Being that Gilbert Burns lost a very emotional fight to his former teammate Kamaru Usman in dominating fashion. So he has to rebuild. That's why he took the toughest fight available. And for Wonder Boy, the clock's ticking, right? He's 38 years old now. He's on a run, which can turn into another title fight. This is something that he may have thought would be further in the distance when Tyron had the belt because he draw and lost to him. So the change at the top was good for him. In terms of the matchup, it's very difficult to choose and see who has the advantage because they're so good at what they do. But Gilbert Burns needs to win this fight. He wins this fight, he puts himself back in the conversation. Wonder Boy, if he gets a W this weekend, he really is on the short list and maybe standing across the octagon from the champion, Kamaru Usman.
Yeah, very short list. And you have to wonder at 38 years old, even though he says he feels as good as he ever has, 38 years old, a little long in the tooth for any athlete.
Watch
it.
it.
Well, you start getting
reality.
Well, you start getting older, and when you rely on some of the things that he relies on, the only reason he can dart in the way that you said is because he's so explosive.
Yeah.
He's so fast. He's so quick. As you get older, those things start to erode a little bit, right? All those things that make you so special as a young athlete, they start to kind of go away, and then you got to start to rely on other things. We even saw in the Jeff Neal fight, Wonderboy still relying on that speed, athleticism, even as he gets older.
Yeah, I know.
But to your point, the Jeff Neal fight, Vicente Luque, both performance bonus wins for him. So he bounced back from that 5-fight streak that wasn't great with 2 really dominating wins. RJ Clifford, if there's a marquee, he might be on the top of it after this show because he has been such an important part of our team. Working yesterday at the press conferences, you already saw he was there. Let's take another visit.
All right, what's your name? Where are you from?
Charles Scully. Came here from Austin, Texas. Born in Galway Bay, Ireland.
Who you got, Conor or Dustin?
Conor. I was born in Ireland. Did you hear that part?
Who is this man?
John, no, that's, couldn't tell you.
It's Wonderboy's dad.
I was gonna say Wonder Boy. It looks just like Wonder Boy.
I have no idea.
Phone a friend. Can I use that?
Phone a friend, go ahead. Does anyone know who this is? Anybody know who this man is? No one knows?
It's for my boy, Conor McGregor, the proper 12.
I mean, I'm just here for everybody to get them some drinks, hook them up, whatever they need. I'm actually a rapper, so I'm right into UFC and stuff like that. But
who is this person?
Shoot, I was gonna say, is that Heidi Androl?
It is Heidi Androl. Good job.
All right.
Who'd you say?
John Bones?
That's him in middle school.
Yes.
Is it? Who?
Right?
It looks exactly. That's crazy. Yeah, I guess I know it.
He's on looking for a fight now. He put on some pounds with Dana going to those great shacks to eat.
Can you believe his modeling career didn't take off?
He's a pretty attractive man, so.
You can say it, because I'm with you.
Yeah.
Scale of 1 to 10, how attractive is he?
I'll give him a good 8. He's no DC, but.
Who is? What's the first thing you think of when you think of this fighter?
Popeye's chicken. Amen, brother. We all know what it is.
2-time Olympian, NCAA Wrestling All-American, broadcaster, but when you see him, the first thing you think of is fried chicken.
I know. I love him, and I hope he sees it, and it makes him a little mad, so. Yeah, great fighter. That's supposed to be Derek Lewis.
You're right, it is Derek Lewis.
Okay.
No fooling you.
No.
You got it all figured out.
He said it was Derek Lewis.
That's amazing.
He said it's supposed to be Derek Lewis.
I think
That
he
is
thought it was
amazing.
Derek Lewis.
The unfortunate thing is none of it actually makes DC mad. Like, he just takes it in
I love
stride.
it.
That's what
It's
makes
fun.
him so great. That was pretty good. That's pretty good.
I had a good time, guys. I did. I feel like I really added some integrity to this panel.
I
So
thought you did
that
a
was my
hell of a
goal.
job.
Good at
Thank
what
you
you
very
do,
much.
RJ.
Yes,
That
thank
was
you.
great. That was
Appreciate
great.
you guys. Oh, just keep saying it because it's true.
I mean, you love
just
it,
keep
right?
saying it because it's true.
So I had a question in the middle of the break. Like, are we gonna get it? Am I gonna get a chance to win the title, or?
Listen, let's take a look at the weigh-in results. We'll talk about that in a minute. I know you're
I get
very
antsy.
concerned
Plus,
about
you
the
know,
belt
I
right
got 15 minutes left of work time. You know, I don't really.
Oh, you're gonna check out?
I'll go into overtime.
Oh, is that
I'll
right?
start charging overtime.
Time and a half?
Time and a half.
Okay.
You better keep your eye on the prize. Don't lose focus, all right?
Everybody's working overtime in UFC 264. Let's take a look at the weigh-in results from the early prelims. And 13 fights, and I believe we only had one fighter not make weight on the card as we move to the ESPN prelims now. And Carlos Condit, Griffin, and then Giles, all making weight. And look at the amazing thing as we go to the main card here is all Daniel Cormier is thinking about right now is, does he get another chance at the belt? As we look at the main card, the main event locked in, as is the co-main, the big fellas. That's a heavyweight fight I'm looking forward to. And the first two on the card should be bangers as well. Don't forget, 7 p.m. Eastern time later today, you can check out the ceremonial weigh-in at T-Mobile Arena. This is the final chance to see these guys before UFC 264 goes down at T-Mobile. A packed house in Vegas once again, like the way that it is supposed to be. We get a look inside, the calm before the storm. It is going to be rocking. This is the fourth event stateside here that we will have a full house. It all started a few months ago in Jacksonville. Feels like it was just yesterday. And You know what? The champ asks and the champ gets.
Let's
Unfortunately,
go.
I do not feel like this plays to DC's strength.
I've been really trying to work
this
on that
has
spelling.
no reflection on where he went to school at Oklahoma State. I think it's just the overall spelling skill set. RJ, was he trying to cheat already?
So this piece of paper was under Daniel Cormier's foot. And he was going to use this to cheat.
No, I wasn't.
No way, give me that.
Can you believe the nerve?
Dean,
I didn't know what that was.
Dean, that's crazy.
He's trying to cheat again.
I'm
okay.
not trying to cheat. I would never.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
What are you doing?
Hey, RJ, can you check again, please?
Him this. No, I didn't put it. I put nothing.
All right, you guys, are we ready?
Another one. Is there no shame to this man's game?
There's very little. By the way, how multifaceted is RJ?
Very.
I mean, he's like
good.
Magnum PI.
He's good.
He is sniffing out all cheaters in this
Hey,
thing.
I know you call him where I'm from.
It's our spelling bee. We do this almost every show. I think we've done this every show so far.
Yeah.
Seiko, since I feel like you're the only one paying attention.
No, I'm paying attention.
All right, we'll go. I'm talking to you too, Dean. All right, are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to say a name, and you are going to spell it. This is last name only. Dustin Poirier. We got 10 seconds. We got 5. Everybody seems to be done. And let's take a look in the wall how you spell Poirier. Okay? All right. Laura is incorrect. DC's right, and Dean is right.
Please.
That's that Kansas City
Literally.
education.
Please. All right, let's go. Get to the next.
Okay, so
really good.
so the loser of this game is either going to take a shot at proper 12. That's Connor's whiskey. Going to do a shoey, and there's one more thing that or a shot of Poirier's hot sauce. The winner gets to decide what the loser does, and the winner gets this belt.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
And guys in the back, you're helping me keep score here, correct? All right, first and last name, the Notorious. You don't have to spell Notorious, just Conor McGregor. 2 points available here, first and last name for Conor McGregor.
I feel like
we're cheating on the last name.
it's literally.
Right. I'm looking at this picture, and it's just a big old hint. Are you guys ready?
Yeah,
DC is on
No,
his
I'm not. No, I'm not.
phone.
I got a text from my mom. I'm sorry.
You did not.
I got a text from my mother. I promise.
Dean,
I got a
he's
text
on
from my mom.
Tapology.
I
He's on
promise.
Take it. Thank you. All right,
I
turn
was
him.
Well,
There's the reveal. DC is correct. Dean is correct. And Laura
I wasn't trying to
is
cheat.
correct.
I'm sorry, guys. I was trying to.
That's
I
a
had text from my
2-pointer.
mother. I would only get a text from my mother and look at my phone, guys. I'm
All
sorry.
right, so Laura, you're trailing by 1. It's 3-3-2
I can
right
do
now.
math.
Okay, last name only on this next fighter. Yana Kunitskaya. Last name only. Kunitskaya. I have a good feeling about this one for Senko. Could be because I'm looking at the board right now. Okay, let's wait on the flip here. Let's reveal on the monitor.
He's cheating again.
Kunitskaya.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
You just looked at his.
I already had put.
Dean is incorrect. DC is correct, and Senko is correct. All right. So Senko's still trailing by 1. Dean now with Laura. DC is in the lead. RJ, wherever you are, could we please have multiple sets of eyes on Daniel Cormier?
What is happening?
Okay. All right, this man is making his UFC debut. First and last name, Chris Mutino. Chris Mutino. Coming in with a 9-4 record. Taking this fight on short notice against Sean O'Malley. Chris Mutino, first and last name. We reveal on the wall.
You can try. He's doing it. Did it.
I didn't.
Okay,
just added an
DC
L?
is incorrect.
Why?
0.
Why would I get 0 points?
You cheated.
You misspelled both of
Yep,
them.
I'm wrong.
All right, 2 for Dean and 2 for Laura.
Oh, look at DC in last place.
You guys all tried. That's why they put
Weird.
2 words just to try to make Daniel.
5, 5, 4. DC is in last place. Okay, first and last name for this fighter, Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria. Again, first and last name, DC, so you could take the lead.
I'm trying, bro. I'm trying.
All right, let's reveal Ilia Topuria in the wall. Why is DC always the
wrong.
last one?
Wrong. I spelled it wrong, so what? I got 1.
No, DC.
I-L-I-A.
DC got the first but missed the last, I believe.
I got it.
No, she got it wrong. She got an O in there. Topuria.
Okay, well, I got the first
Dean
name.
got it, though. Dean got it.
Point.
Okay, so it's okay, 7, 6, 6.
How many more of these do we have?
We have 4 more guys, but they don't. They get a lot harder. Okay, are we ready? Everybody have their boards cleared?
Oh,
yep.
Goodness.
Okay.
These names.
Driscus Duplessis.
Oh my God.
Driscus Duplessis. First and last name. There is little to no chance that Daniel Cormier gets a single point without cheating here.
I'm not cheating. I promise.
Senka looks to be struggling a little bit as
Oh,
well.
gosh.
Driscus
Oh my God.
Duplessis.
I got a freaking
Laura got
S.
1.
I put an S. That's large. I got nothing.
Dean got
right.
both.
It didn't help that Dan said it wrong.
776. Dean isn't right anywhere, bro.
Did DC get 1?
I didn't get any.
Yeah, you got the first name.
No, I got it's Dricus, not Driscus.
Yeah, it's Driscus. You said it wrong.
I put S. Oh, you said it wrong.
You said it wrong.
Hey, he said Driscus.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
You
I
said Driscus.
You did.
You said Driscus.
You did. You said it.
He said Driscus, guys. That should be something.
We should know how to say it.
For Helly. So I get 1, right? Because me and Dean spelled it as Helly said it.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, last name point here. Amari Akhmedov. Amari Akhmedov. Just last name, guys. You don't have to spell Amari. All right. 2, 1. Let's reveal in the wall. Akhmedov. Okay. Okay. So what's the overall score? DC's in last, of course. Okay. Okay, are we ready? First and last name. Good luck here, guys.
Wait.
Jalgas Zumagulov. Jalgas Zumagulov. Jalgas Zumagulov.
Dean, pick your
5.
board up.
Oh, my 4.
Pick it up.
3.
Wait up. I'm trying to. All right.
1 extra time. Yeah, we'll give you a little extra time.
We really have to go to the lowest common denominator.
Is everybody ready? Let's reveal it. Jalgas Zumagulov.
I got it. I know I got it. I got it. I was trying to read it. I actually got it.
I think DC put a late H in there.
I actually got it. I didn't even look at the screen. I'm just like, I got it.
Dean did not get the last one.
Oh, I thought I had her. Oh my God.
So this is another first and last name. Laura Sanko going into the final name with a 1-point lead over Daniel Cormier and Dean Thomas.
Oh my goodness.
Okay?
She's writing so fast.
Hu Yao Zhang. First and last name, Hu Yao Zhang. First and last name. This could be a big swing here. Dean, guard your board.
C-D-Q-P-L-M-S-R-A-E.
Wait, stop, Laura. Wait, I'm trying to do my last name. I'm gonna tell you, Z-A-O-Z.
Q-S-T. C, D, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. You're going to lose.
All right, let's
I just checked. Wait, so you said Yu Yao Zhang?
They got them both.
Wait, stop. Laura, are you willing to negotiate if I somehow got this thing? Are you willing to negotiate in overtime? Because if I somehow got this.
I will race you in a shoey in overtime if you get it. I'll race you in a shoey, and whoever wins the shoey
wins the belt. I don't really want.
Don't be a.
Boom! It's you, y'all gone. It's you, y'all gone. It's you, y'all gone. It's you, y'all Zhang somehow. I don't know how I did it, but it's you, y'all Zhang. Is this right, Helen? Helen, is this right, Helen?
Yeah, but you're still losing by a point.
No, she offered in overtime race a shoey to see who gets the title.
I'm in.
Run the tape back.
I was joking.
Run the tape back. Run the tape back.
So she's giving you a tie?
Yes.
And now you guys race a shoey.
We race a shoey.
I have to talk to the executive committee, but I believe that'll be fine.
She's going to be drunk by the time she loses.
So we'll do a shoey for the win.
I'm going to drink the shoey, and then I'm going to make her take a shot of proper 12.
Let's go.
She will be staggering out of here by the end of the show.
RJ, do we have the
I can't believe you got that.
Oh my God.
We have 2 shoes.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, DC.
It's my favorite Pilsner. It's my favorite Pilsner, Modelo.
Where's the second?
Where's the second? We need one more shoe.
We need another shoe.
RJ, just take the shoe off your foot.
No. Where's the shoe? Oh.
Max took his shoes.
How much
the lucky?
I can just put it in my shoe.
No, listen. How much
Ty Tuivasa has actually done a shoey out of this shoe.
Can I get extra points if I do
Laura,
that shoe?
You do.
No, don't do that. No, that's gross. That's disgusting. Please.
Listen, I'm competitive.
Let's just you can chug the beer.
You could just
chug
do,
the beer?
yeah, just
Chug
chug out
the
of the
beer.
bottle. Hold.
Wait.
I'll do the hot sauce.
Wait up.
Is there a whiskey shot? Is there a whiskey shot? We can all do it together.
Wait.
All right, ready?
Ready?
Wait, who's counting us in?
On your marks, get set.
Can I do this?
Hold on. On your marks, get set, go. Uh-oh. I think DC has the lead.
Oh, he's got the lead.
Sanko's
sure.
trying. DC has the lead. DC! Oh my God! He took her down! Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Let's go!
Whatever.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that video's fantastic.
where I'm from, that's called a good old-fashioned hustle, right there. That's called a hustle where I'm from, D.
I got you, brother.
You guys remember the movie White Men Can't Jump? That's called a hustle right there.
I feel sick.
Yeah. But guess what, though?
What?
You're not done, young lady.
What?
Anyway,
We should celebrate.
Oh no.
Laura, wait.
The shot
I
of
won.
proper 12.
The winner
Where's the hot
chooses.
sauce?
I got you.
The winner chooses.
Is the hot sauce on that table?
Okay.
RJ, I'll grab it.
And I have to burp.
Wait, hold
That's
on.
unbelievable.
I know, I do too.
Bad.
It's like,
It's like right there.
it's like right, I feel like I'm gonna.
You got taken, Sanko. I can't believe you agreed to that. Oh, that's
We can tell
right.
what DC did during college.
Can you get it out?
I can't get it out.
I can't get it
That's
out.
too big.
He's trying to burp.
I don't want Laura's shot to be that big. Okay. And what I'm going to do is do the proper 12 shot with a shot of hot sauce in the proper 12. For them, because I won.
What is Dean gonna have to do since he lost?
What are you doing?
Just hot
I'm
sauce.
giving you guys your shots.
I have to burp.
Well, you'll burp after you take your hot sauce shot of proper 12.
How full of the shot glass is the hot sauce? Oh, that's good right there.
I can't believe you gave me a chance.
That's coffee, bro. You want some water?
All right, Evan.
I thought I was.
All right.
I thought I was joking when that was.
All right, guys, sit down. In honor of Conor and Dustin, take your shot of hot sauce proper 12 in 3, 2, 1. Go, guys. Oh, Sanko!
Where's yours, buddy?
Sanko. Well, I'm the champ. I won. I don't have to.
No, but this is in celebration of.
Oh,
This
I
is
have to.
team
Hey, I
bonding
have to work tomorrow. I got fights to call. You like? I can't be drinking.
Well,
Big Dean, you got it.
All right. Let me hand me that proper 12.
Someone burp me.
RJ.
Come on.
Are you like whapping me on the back?
All right, everybody. Here's to you. UFC 264. Great fights tomorrow. DC cheating once again.
You guys didn't go to college,
sorry
did
it didn't
you?
work out for you.
Oh my goodness, RJ!
Oh,
wow!
He's done.
I mean, we've completely gone off the rails at the weigh-in show, but one thing stays certain: the belt stays with DC.
It returns to DC. If you're back on the next pay-per-view weigh-in show, perhaps you can defend your title. For Dean, DC, Senko, I'm Dan, and RJ in the house. Thanks for watching, buddy.